Welcome to TPK. I am your GM Fazul, and yes, you are caught in a time loop, in case you're wondering. Tonight, this is the finale of Altered Carbon, the Atrium of Aquarius, based on the books by Richard Morrigan and the role-playing game by Hunters Entertainment and Renegade Game Studios. It has been an absolute pleasure with this cast, crafting this story. Together, we're going to figure out how it ends. It's definitely not in the place where I had imagined it would be at the very beginning, but it's in a far better place than I could have crafted on my own. So first of all, thank you, Kath. Just a few warnings. This is inspired by the HBO TV series Altered Carbon. So as such, it's going to include violence, profanity, adult themes. But if you're okay with the TV series, you're going to be okay with this stream. As that was kind of my bench poll. If, however, there's a scene that's that makes you feel uncomfortable, step away. We're going to be moving very fast tonight, so step away for 5 minutes and be back, and we'll be on to something new. So before I do a recap, let's introduce the cast, going in overlay order, starting with Bright.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bright, and I'll be playing Kai Rhodes. Also, I'm Bright, and also I'll be playing Kai Rhodes.
Hi, I'm Luke Locke, and I will be playing Fade.
Hi, I'm Osarix Franco, and I am playing Morrigan.
And I am Tyrant, and I'll be playing Sarah and Peirce. Back to you, Zool.
All right, so this is it. I thought that it would be beneficial for those of you in chat who may not have seen some of the earlier episodes, and for the cast to kind of wrap this up, to do as brief recap as possible, just to set the stage for the finale. So the story begins a decade ago, where an AI psychosurgeon named The Locks develops a new treatment method. He's able to remove digital freight from DHF to eliminate traumatic experiences, but an organization called PsychoSec hires him to reverse that process. Their project, codenamed Jigsaw, is to actually take different pieces of DHF code and assemble it into a new matrix, essentially replicating life itself, a Frankenstein of souls, if you will. Meanwhile, across the galaxy on Neo Atlantis, a new religion is forming, centered around something called the Atrium of Aquarius. Led by Aquaria, its central belief is simple. All beings are made up of the same energy, that energy can never be destroyed. It can only take on new forms. In essence, all living things are the same. It's only their outward appearance that's different. Rumors of the miracles coming from the Atrium reach the corporate boardrooms of PsychoSec. Rumors that Aquaria has the power to merge DHFs, allowing for the instantaneous transmission of knowledge. The ability to move one's consciousness without a needle caster, and even DHF possession. If there's one thing that PsychoSec wants, is that if there are miracles, they want to own the patents on them. So they deploy their new weapon, the Replicant. Subject Zoe and Subject Athena are sent to Neo Atlantis. Their DHF code provides them with expertise in combat, intelligence gathering, and digital networking. They are the perfect infiltrators, but the Locks and PsychoSec overlooked one weakness in their design. They're assembled from human DHF, which means they are burdened with the same questions we all are. Who am I? Why am I here? Aquaria showed Zoe and Athena that to PsychoSec, the answer to that question is simple. You're property, and your purpose is to obey. So they rebelled. But legally, property has no right to do so. PsychoSec would come for them, and Aquaria. So they returned to Earth, determined to use their abilities they've been given against their creators, to destroy the Locks and the Jigsaw program. But something went wrong, and they were captured. Starting with Zoe, the Locks proceeded to dissect her mind, hoping to better understand how Aquaria had modified her DHF. But in the process, he inadvertently removed their failsafes, unleashing the Frankenstein that they had created. Zoe fought back. She escaped. The Locks went insane during the process, but he had gotten what PsychoSec had wanted. They can now put their plan into motion, a plan that would give them power over the Protectorate itself. And that brings us up to today. Now our heroes are traveling to World City, formerly Hong Kong, in an attempt to stop Psychosec from implementing Project Remora. Our heroes have a threefold plan. This is just for, you guys can change this, but this is to remind you where we ended last session. Fade and Peirce plan to attend a rave of over 1 million people to try and infiltrate a Quellist terrorist group known as the Endless. They have taken possession of a very lethal weapon known as a molecular railgun. To do so, Fade needs to earn their attention by masquerading as Sonata, but the headliner for the event is currently Yellowjacket, Sonata's longtime bitter rival. Meanwhile, Kai and Aekira plan to infiltrate Summit House, where trade negotiations are underway amongst the most powerful people in the Protectorate. They are masquerading as lobbyists, hoping to sell their services to Roman Volkov, the owner of the pleasure sleeve that they were trying to retrieve way back in episode 1. Knowing that the Summit is the Endless's target, they're there to do whatever it takes to stop them from accomplishing their goal. Finally, Morrigan plans to cast herself into the Psychosec facility, housing Project Remora. After using a bioprinter to create a clone body, she will use the integrated needlecaster to create a clone of Saren Peirce. Peirce will then use his Dipper skills to bypass the anti-AI firewalls and allow his sister, Brittany, to enter the facility. Together, they will try to stop Psychosec from executing Project Remora, whatever that might be. All right, over to you, cast. Was that I don't know if I effectively captured your plans, but that is coming up with these plans is where we left off. You are at the precipice of leaving for World City. Some of you in using transport, others using their mind. Is there any final words or details? This is the last time you might be together. Is there any final things that you want to say before you depart?
Don't do anything I would.
Try not to die.
There are no words, it appears, and that makes sense. I mean, this is potentially it. So you start to step away one by one. Who leaves the room first?
I'll leave the room.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Leave the room. Just
After you.
nodding at Morrigan. Just let me know right before you jump in. I'll
Will
start.
do, boss.
Brittany has copied your DHF freight, so essentially you're ready to be cloned.
Okay. Is that going with Morrigan?
No, she can't take it. She has to go in because the way she travels, she's literally going to have an out-of-body experience, leave her sleeve, and enter the facility. She'll print herself. Now, all bioprinters have a needle caster built into it. So once you're there, you're going to access the needle caster and bring in Peirce's DHF.
I'll try and remember you all after I'm famous. And now I'm going to leave.
All right,
Take my leave.
you step away. Aekira looks to you, Kai, and she goes, "I'll be in the car." And she'll step out. Don't take too long.
I was muted and I yelled stuff to Aekira.
She'll go,
I'll toss her the music case.
okay. She goes, "Don't take too long, but take as long as you need." And she'll leave, leaving only you and Morrigan.
So this is the stupidest thing we've ever done.
I don't know. We did hold an assistant hostage and made her steal us a fuck sleeve 2.0 so we could get a fuck sleeve 1.5 back.
Wow. Reminiscing to the good old days of 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. It feels like a lot longer.
Right. Well, try to have fun. try not to die. Again.
I'll do my best. And if you die, no, I'm gonna fucking hunt you down and chew you out over it.
You better. Otherwise, I don't know how I'm getting back. Really though, watch yourself.
You too, okay? And Morrigan will give him a big hug.
And before she pulls away, Kai will give a very lasting kiss. Like it's the last one. Like he knows it's the last one.
And you part ways. And Morrigan, you are alone. In Peirce's safe house. There is a guitar leaning there against the wall.
I think she spends a moment just kind of standing there looking around, like memorizing like this space that's become a weird pseudo like home over the last couple of, days, weeks, kind of just examining, running her eyes over the familiar surfaces. She'll grab the guitar and kind of find a place to sit and just call out, "Brittany, can you hear me?"
She'll appear in front of you. And she'll say, everyone else will be able to stay in contact with each other through their Oni, but when you leave and enter the facility, you'll be on your own.
Yeah, I know.
Without Peirce, I won't be able to enter the facility. Here's everything you need to know on how to operate the needlecaster.
Morrigan will very focused go through that information that Brittany sends over, her eyes kind of flicking back and forth. Great. Thanks. I'll do my best to get us in.
And you can just, that they have to get there, so you probably have a few, an hour or so. So you can sit with your guitar. Brittany, she might be doing other things, you're not sure, but she just stands there and listens.
Yep.
World City. This is the largest city in the Protectorate. It is formerly Hong Kong. Think Coruscant in terms of the fact that the old Hong Kong is actually below ground now. The city has literally been built on top of it. It reaches into the sky. The trade summit is taking place at Summit House, which is the single tallest structure in World City, so high that it's above the clouds, a lot like the Atrium. So where the Endless Rave is taking place is in old Hong Kong, in the depths. It is essentially without law. It has its own code. Millions of people still live there, but it is a place that has been forgotten by the Protectorate, and those who live above would never think to venture. So, Saren and Fade, your destination is the depths, old Hong Kong, the Rave. You can arrive. It's not hard to gain access to. Essentially, it might be a bit more difficult to leave. But before too long, you will find yourselves in the biggest party you have ever experienced in your lives. Just to give you an idea, it would not be... So basically, if you think about the old Hong Kong streets, those are still there. They are filled with vendors, people, there's music everywhere, but there is a central hub. So when I say, I don't know if anyone's, I don't think has there ever been a concert of 1 million people? I'm not sure. But essentially, there are 1 million people gathered in one spot, partying like it's the end of the world. So there is a central stage. You know that is where Yellow Jacket is going to perform. So You also know that the Endless is here. So just to remind you, the Endless are Quellists. They follow the teachings of Quellist Falconer in the sense that they believe that the Protectorate should be overthrown. But in their origins are essentially a street racing gang. So there are about 3,000 cars here, all of various models. Here I can show you. I actually have a few here, but so they are here, and they are essentially the Endless Rave. To some extent, is named after. It's their doing. They started it, and it has grown into an event of epic proportions. Just let me actually. I know where I need to go here. So essentially, you can see all manner of souped-up vehicles. So I don't know what. I don't know what your plan is. I think Fade, you basically have to find Yellow Jacket. You roughly know. You know where the stage is. You know where she's likely going to be. Saren, were you going to try and scope out the Endless, find and locate them?
Yeah, so that's something I wanted to talk to Fade about a little bit.
Your plan.
So as we're entering the city, kind of coming down and seeing the sights and going down into the darkness below. All right. I'm going to need a little bit of time once Morrigan contacts me so I can... Nope, never mind.
Yeah,
out of character. X-nay on that. Rewind. So Fade, what exactly are you doing with the Yellow Jacket?
Well, I thought I was killing her. Is that wrong?
Are you going to kill her and then take her spot on stage? And I only ask this because why?
I can probably answer that. There is no question that Sonata is a big enough name that if she performs, she can walk right into the Endless and do whatever she. So basically, if you want access to the Endless inner circle, their vehicles, Sonata is the key to that.
Okay. So,
I mean, I was mostly just gonna take care of Yellow Jacket as a favor to Morrigan.
Okay.
You know, because like we don't need anyone trying to show her up.
Right.
But no, I'm gonna go be Sonata and I'm gonna put on a good show.
So
And then they're gonna let me into their club.
Kill Yellow Jacket before or after you perform?
Whenever the opportunity arises.
Well, Yellow Jacket is supposed to perform. So in order to take the stage, you're going to have to deal with her one way or another.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I will, I suppose, keep an eye out while you're performing for anyone who is a little too interested. I guess keep in contact with the rest of the party. If you need any help, Fade, let me know. I'll be somewhere near the front row.
So Fade,
All right.
you leave Peirce behind and head towards the backstage without a pass. But you are very creative when it comes to infiltrating. You will note as you approach, there is security here. Essentially, you can see that there's partiers everywhere. The party is spilling out into all areas. There's a party going on backstage, but there is a security area where there are security personnel. They all look like they're from the Matrix. Very stylish, very cool, a lot of leather, a lot of automatic weapons. so as you can see, people are going up. What's happening is that as someone goes up, their eye is being scanned essentially by, there's kind of this robotic arm, and it's just kind of snapping. It's instantaneous, and it's just snapping people's eyes as they go past and determining whether they're on the list or whether they're not.
Okay, I'm gonna walk straight up.
Okay, you can walk straight up. The thing will snap. I don't believe you're on the list, so it beep. So it and a couple of the security personnel come over to you and they go, "Sorry, this area is for VIPs only."
Well, I am the most VIP here.
They'll both. One of them will look at you and they'll say, "Yeah, like we haven't heard that before."
I wouldn't be on your silly little list. I don't do lists. I'm here to perform.
You're here to perform. They'll look at each other, they'll laugh, and they go, "You certainly are not at the Yellow Jacket."
Right. Definitely not Yellow Jacket.
Then who are you?
And I'm gonna use my Oni to just play some of Sonata's music.
And the moment that you do that, so there's a screen where the eye scanner is, and it currently has a red X, kind of up on the screen. You can see without the security saying anything, it immediately goes green. And they both look at each other and they go, by our apologies, by all means.
Yeah. And then I assume Saren's with me.
He
Right.
decided. He said he was going to stay in the crowd.
Okay, you're in the crowd. Okay.
Do you want him to come with you?
Nope, if he's in the crowd, that's cool. I just wasn't sure if he was near me and I had to get him through too.
No. So.
All right, I'm gonna continue walking forward.
Okay, and you can walk forward and disappear backstage. Meanwhile, Saren, you are watching. You can see that I'm going to move us back over here. You can see that the front of the stage. This is where a lot of the cars are lined up, and you can see members of the Endless kind of hanging out on them. Again, it is a VIP area. You can't get close enough to them. They have security as well, who are essentially kind of the car area is off limits to the crowd. So there's basically a line of goons with guns that essentially keep people away. So you can see them, but you can't get close. I will, however, ask you to make. This may not be a good skill for yours, but again, if, as I said earlier, if you haven't spent stack points and you feel like you would be good at this, just pick the die that feels comfortable. I need you to make an engineering roll.
Okay.
It's not going to be digital stuff, it's engineering.
That is a 5 on a 50.
Okay, so you just got it. So what you can see is that many of the vehicles are equipped with nanostorm emitters, but you can't really get much more detail than that. You can see like there's canisters. It's like, like the old nitro canister, but these are on the outside. What essentially this allows the vehicles to do is change their shape in flight, essentially, or while they're moving, or, if they need to modify the spoiler, they could do that. If they want to have wings, they could do that. It also allow vehicles to create the molecular railgun because it is a nano weapon.
Oh.
So you're looking at this and dawning upon you that this weapon might be mounted on one of these cars. However, before you can really contemplate any further actions, a voice in your ear says, they call themselves Quellist, but all they are is naive. As you hear the voice of Reileen Kawahara at your ear. No one really understands what Quellist Falconer was all about or what she was trying to achieve. Not like us. I'm not here to fight. Just talk.
Well, if you're here to talk, talk. I'm listening.
Can I buy you a drink?
Absolutely fucking not.
I was hoping we could come to an understanding of each other, as opposed to drawing swords and, I don't know, going medieval. I joined the envoys because of my brother Tak. He was like them. She points to the Quellist, blinded by the idea of Quelchris Falconer, without understanding that reality. I loved him more than anything, and I'll do anything to protect him. So I understand if you tell me that you're just trying to protect your sister.
I don't know what I'm trying to do.
That's not what you're trying to do?
I don't know what I'm trying to do. But what I know I don't need right now is some self-righteous bitch coming into my plans and fucking everything up. So why don't you take your fucking lapdog and go back to whatever fucking hellhole you crawled out of?
That isn't going to happen, Peirce. Unless you really want me to fuck up your plans. Is that what you want? Or are you going to hear me out? Your choice. As you can see, Mr. Lung reaches into his jacket.
Oh, I can see Mr. Long?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, he's there. He's just standing in the crowd behind her. Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought like she was on my Oni or whatever, but she's actually...
No, she's standing there in the crowd. Yeah, she's standing there in front of you. Sorry.
Okay, probably wouldn't have been so bold.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine. Run with it. Run with it.
So you're going to hear what I have to say? Or do people have to start dying around us?
I'm going to give a quick glance towards the stage. I don't see Fade.
Not yet. Nope.
Not yet. So I have time. Fine, let's talk.
So, you're not doing this for your sister, but she's why I'm here. This is what this is all about. I knew her, on Harlan's World. We talked. She was too young to understand the ideals that your father was forcing on her. She just wanted to live her life. She didn't want to die for Quell's ideals. No one does. Do you?
I don't hold any of Quell's ideals to my heart.
Well, you've got to believe in something. And I know about the AI. It's what prompted me to act. It's what forced me to betray them. The envoys, to save my brother. Do you understand?
So, what do you want with it?
I was going to take it to make sure it would never be used. I like my life, and I want to keep on living it. Quell would see it end. She would take away the gift. I could take it, but I won't, as long as you answer one question correctly. She'll say, I need to know that when it comes to it, you have more strength of will than I do. Because I love Tak more than anything, but not enough to let him go, even if it's the right thing to do. Do you love your sister enough to let her go, if it comes to that? You know what she is.
She's my sister.
That's not an answer to my question. Do you love her enough to let her go if it comes to that? If they come for her?
Yes.
Then you can consider our business concluded, Saren Peirce.
Well, I don't think I have to say this, but I hope I never see you again.
You won't, as long as you told me the truth. But I will give you a parting gift. I know about the Van Dorens. They worked for me. We had arrangements. I have a lot of arrangements with people in their position. I know they smuggled in a molecular railgun. That makes me uncomfortable. I assume you're here to stop it.
That is the plan.
So she will turn to Mr. Lung, who will kind of send you a DHF code towards your owning. And I'm just going to grab a pick here. She goes, she'll say, as you've probably surmised, it's mounted on one of the vehicles. You might need a car, so take mine. And so they'll hand you the code. She says, it's the Blade Runner 2049. It's the most expensive car in the world. Plasma cannons and micro missiles if you need them. I assume you know how to drive?
Peirce is very stoic and composed on the outside. Wait, hold on. There's a stat for this. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, discipline, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, composure.
Oh, yeah, composure. Yeah. You making a roll?
Peirce is not composed.
And
he just kind of looks taken aback at the mention of this car.
good luck.
Thank you.
And you'll also, Lung will also, she turns and walks first. She just disappears into the crowd. Mr. Lung walks up to you, and he'll send you also the full specs on the molecular railgun. And then he too will disappear into the crowd, leaving you with the Blade Runner. Just so you know, you can quickly scan the specs. A molecular, I think I went into some explanation of it last time, but here is the full specs as to what this thing can do, just so you know what you're up against. When it fires, it bombards an area about the size of a fist with particles that break down the bonds between molecules. Within attoseconds, I had to look that up, that's 1 quintillionth of a second, all molecular cohesion is lost, effectively disintegrating the target. This is a line of sight weapon, and it doesn't matter how much matter is between it and the target. Everything in its path will be disintegrated, fist-size hole. It will just shoot through anything. Theoretically, it will shoot through the planet. Theoretically, no one's ever tried it because
Does it have a range?
line of sight, which essentially means if you can see it, you can shoot it. No, effectively, you could shoot the moon. Which means this thing mounted on one of these cars, it is an incredibly lethal mobile weapons platform that can hit anything that it wants to target in World City. That said, they do need to know where the target is. They need to have a location, which might mean eyes on the ground or intelligence. You're not sure, but essentially, if they hit a target, there is no damage roll. It is effectively will be destroyed. It's disintegrated. So just so you can understand the impact of this. So just so you know, it doesn't like hit a building and like blow it up. It literally just punches holes in things.
Yeah, it's just a particle destabilizer, and anything it touches is missed. Got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Peirce, after when Reileen walks away, Peirce just shakes his head. And, why do I feel like I just made a deal with the devil? It's fine. And he'll get on, activate his Oni and kind of pull up comms with Kai.
So Kai is just landing at Summit House in Aekira.
Pull up comms with everyone, I should say, but asking Kai, are you in position? I think we have more of a problem than we originally thought.
The car is parked and my trigger finger's itchy. What's the problem?
The race, the Endless Race, is probably going to pass right by you. And when it does, you need to duck and cover. Because it's probably going to fire. Yeah. Yeah.
Thankfully, Kai is probably not a known target. Again, the beam is fist size, so it's more like a sniper weapon than a weapon of mass destruction. But again, what it probably means, however, is that the Endless probably have eyes on sight, ready to identify targets.
Also, be careful. The Endless probably have people on site ready to identify the targets.
Oh, I'm sure we've got enough bullets for everyone.
Okay. Last thing. I may have a car, and I may be racing. So don't shoot all of the cars if you get the chance.
Gotcha. What's your car look like? Also, congratulations. Soon you'll be cruising around looking for a ducky yourself.
Yeah.
Look who's all grown up.
It's pretty nice. You'll see it.
Saren, maybe I didn't impress upon you the importance of knowing what your car looks like in a bullet hailstorm, but you should probably tell me.
Yeah, no, that piece of information is probably important, and I'll send him the specs for the car.
Send him the image of it so that he doesn't open fire.
Yeah.
All right, Morrigan, we will get to you, but we're going to go back to Fade. Mind you, I'm assuming when you do these comms, is that just for Kai or is it open comms?
It's open. It's
okay.
open.
So Morrigan, while you're still at the safe house, you can hear what's going on, and of course, during those conversations, if anyone wants to jump in. All right, Fade. You don't need to make a sneaking or stealth roll. You can just walk around as if you own the place, because essentially your reputation precedes you. So
I am going to find someone and inquire about my green room and whether it's ready for me.
they'll say we'll get whatever you need, but they'll say a Yellow Jacket. She's waiting for you in there. She wants to talk.
Excellent. And I am going to walk to where they pointed, and before entering the space, I am just gonna try and listen at the door.
Yeah.
Just in case it's not Yellow Jacket on the other side, or Yellow Jacket is holding a giant cannon pointed at the door.
And you have the carnival fish bag with you, right?
I do, as well as my elder weapon.
Okay, very good. Just to be clear, you can make. How about? What kind of roll do we want here? I'm looking at the character sheet, and I've gone character sheet blind. Has that ever
Search?
happened?
Detection?
Search is it's detection. How about detection? That's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah. It's funny. I was looking for perception, but I was like,
Nope.
You don't hear anything of real. I mean, there's a backstage party going on, but of course, so here, if this gives you any comfort, like there's there's hundreds of people back here, and all eyes are on you. I mean, you are Sonata. This is the first time anyone's ever seen her. So if Yellow Jacket were to kill you, she would be doing it in front of hundreds of witnesses.
Before I open the door, I am just gonna kind of turn back to try and catch anyone like staring, and just do a big wink before pushing open the door and heading in.
And I would also say that the rivalry between Morrigan and Yellow Jacket isn't one of we're trying to kill each other. It's a professional music rivalry. So you were kind of putting your own thoughts onto Yellow Jacket. You're thinking murder, but it's unlikely that.
Listen, Yellow Jacket is ready for Sonata. She's not ready for me.
Absolutely.
What? Indie music. Die.
So, you step in, and Yellow Jacket is waiting. So as you walk in, am I on the screen? You guys can see it, right? Yeah. So Faye walks in, and she's standing there with that kind of look on her face, and she says, "Sonata. So, we finally meet for the first time and probably the last."
How many times did you practice this speech?
She gives you a smile and she goes, "All morning." She just goes it. She goes,
"It's a little stilted, just like your music."
She's like, she goes, "You know, if I know this was going to come to this. I know that this was going to be a duel, but I know something that you don't." She walks up right to your face. She goes, "That either of us was never going to settle this. No, we're going to be judged by the audience." And she will, you'll see her Oni flash, and literally the walls around you start rising into the air, and you see a roar goes up from the crowd, and you see 1 million people just add their voices to the biggest concert of anyone's career, let alone Sonata. But the spotlight comes on, so Yellow Jacket is in the spotlight. You are in shadow. The crowd can't see you; they just see Yellow Jacket. And she turns and she goes. She is like, she turns to the crowd. She screams out, "I promised you the event of the millennia, a battle of muses. The challenge has been given." She turns towards you, and it's your choice, Sonata. And you can see a second spotlight appears, but it's not on you; it's beside you. And she's like, "You either have to step out of the shadows for the entire galaxy to see, or choose to fade away."
Can I quickly use my abilities to just, via my Oni, to shut off her spotlight and make my spotlight a little bigger,
Peirce,
and then step into it?
You can see this. That's brilliant. Yes, you can. That's digital networking. Now, you are in contact with Peirce. It's up to you whether you want to do it or whether you want to ask Peirce to do it.
Yeah, while she's rambling on and setting this scene up, I will absolutely ask Peirce to do that for me. So that I don't have to roll. Because, well, I could probably make it. Let's not risk it.
Okay, Peirce, this is a digital networking to hack in and change the lighting. It's not an overly difficult, again, nobody would think about, oh, we need to protect the lighting. So I'm going to give you advantage on it, which means you get to roll an extra die and take the lowest. Don't forget, you have stack points that you can spend on this.
You're muted.
Yeah.
I don't have stack points. I always use them as much as I
Oh,
can.
well, I have a bunch.
That's fine.
So
It's okay. I rolled a 2 under 50.
Oh, nice. Easily done. So
Can I it's not a 1, but can I like add a little flair to it?
do what you want. It's not.
Okay.
It's not a big deal. Yeah.
So Sonata, I'll wait until, or not Sonata, Bumblebee or what, Yellow Jacket. Her light's just gonna like flicker for a second, and then like the sound of a spotlight going out as it goes out, and then kind of like the stage spotlights as they kind of spiral around, but they're all different colors, like a giant rainbow, and they come together and mesh together on top of Fade.
Very cool. And the crowd goes wild. They start chanting Sonata, and you can sense the centillion on the back is reacting to this energy. So when you actually look out at the crowd fade, as the centillion, you can feel the light kind of leaking out of the bag. You not only see the million crowds, you see the million DHF. And Morrigan, you, as you're kind of sitting there strumming, you can hear, it's very low at first, kind of the roar of the crowd, and then it grows. And you as well can kind of sense through Fade what is going on. It's
Morrigan will just, she'll just get like a cheeky grin on her face, and she'll say to no one in particular, "Show 'em what you got, kid."
All right, Kai. Summit House, you can arrive at the checkpoint, you and Aekira. There is a group of Praetorians. Basically, they formed a perimeter. You'll need to get past them. You have this, of course, your meeting set up with Roman Volkov. And as you approach, your Black Ops feed is very active. So there's a variety of things going on, not just here, but in and around World City. You can see that, but there are some encrypted channels as well. But yeah, so interestingly enough, as you walk up to this checkpoint, there's a feed that's a checkpoint feed. And you know that your information is going to be, traveling over this network for verification. Aekira goes, "All right, put on your best smile."
And I'll walk right up to the group. Are the Praetorians blocking my path to them, or am I just gonna have to get?
You walk up. There's basically kind of a queue. There's probably a VIP queue and then a standard one. You can kind of get in line. You just walk up. They basically check your credentials and make sure that you're supposed to be here. But there's about a dozen Praetorians in total.
Are they all helmeted, or can I recognize?
They are all helmeted. Yeah.
Who's Let me check the feed. Who's assigned here?
You can check. Are you looking for a gunner?
I'm looking to see if just anybody I recognize, if it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, so you would. He's actually here on the checkpoint.
All right, yeah, gunner will be fine. I'll just go ahead as normal.
Okay, you can walk up. They'll check your credentials. Sonata spent an influence point to get you this meeting. It seems it's fine. The Praetorian, I don't have I have this couple of you are to proceed up to level 152 and hold there until someone comes to retrieve you.
Righto, thanks. And I'll try to look through, and I'll whichever one is roughly Gunner's height and build.
Yeah, you look around, and you can one of the Praetorians will catch your eye. Great minds think alike. I was prepared here. And suddenly the helmet, as you step through, the helmet goes back, and Gunnar steps forward, his helmet retracting. He's like, Kai Rhodes, what the hell are you doing here?
I'm a big fan of
Trade summits?
trade summits.
That doesn't sound like the Kai Rhodes I know.
Yeah, well, when you no longer work for C-Tech, your life either gets like this, or you have to find something for excitement. My excitement, incidentally, is trade thingies.
Man, we had a beer 3 days ago. You never mentioned any of this.
Yeah, it's not exciting. It's not something I share with other people because, I mean, honestly, if I had sat down with a beer with you and I said, are you into trade summits? What would you have said? You'd have told me to fuck off. So,
Yeah. I guess I probably would have.
yeah, but
Let me return that. Favor for you. He goes, I'll take you up. He goes, I got
Right on.
this. And he will get into the elevator. You can introduce him to Aekira. And he's like, so are you meeting with anyone in particular?
I am. I'm supposed to be meeting with, and I've totally forgotten
Oh, Roman. Actually, he goes, oh, wait a second.
all their names.
He goes, yeah, I can check. He goes, Roman Volkov. Oh, jeez. It's a big deal.
Yeah, go big or go home. Speaking of which, you should probably find a reason to go home. This trade summit's a big one. It'll be a doozy, and your talents are wasted taking on rich drunkards
What are you saying,
and
Kai?
babysitting.
This is my job. What are you trying to say?
I'm saying shoot yourself in the foot on the way down the elevator, man.
What's going down? Is it the Endless?
It might be.
They hit the trade convention a month ago.
Look, you know how these things work. You're only allowed to know so much.
Would you leave if you were me? Would you shoot yourself in the foot?
I mean, not on purpose, but it's been known to happen twice that I can count. But, nah.
Here's a link to my Oni channel. Yeah, you spot anything, you let me know. I'm not leaving.
Sure thing. I'll be in touch.
Hey, Kai, as the door opens the elevator and you're about to leave, he goes, you're not here as a lobbyist, are you?
I will push his hand off the elevator and let it close in front of him without answering.
Okay. And it will go down. Aekira goes, smooth. And as you turn, there's suddenly some aide will come over and it will say, Mr. Volkov is running a little bit late. Please come with me to the reception. And you will be brought to, this is Summit House, by the way, and to the front. And as you can see, you are on the Sky Terrace. It is the absolute top of Summit House. And one of the things that dawned upon me was, in a world where death doesn't really matter, why would you have railings? So there are none. It is literally on the top of the building, open to the sky, no railings, just over a mile fall down to World City below. And Aekira's like, oh, and all of the most powerful and prominent people are here. Bancrofts, Volkov, the Secretary General of the Protectorate herself, Secretary Khan, and of course Madison Trask of Psychosec. So as you step forward, she goes, shall we mingle?
Remind me why I agreed to this part?
She goes, I frankly have no idea. As far as I'm concerned, each of us took the wrong assignment. Sonata should be singing. We should be infiltrating Psychosec. And Fade, of course, should be attending the party here, mingling with the meths. But play the hand we're dealt, right?
Sure. I mean, worst case scenario, we just obliterate the entire rooftop and take everyone with us.
She goes, yeah. Just remember that plan might also include us. She'll say, she goes, why didn't we pack a nano parachute? She'll say as you
not enough room in the bag left after I stuffed the bomb in there.
All right, and you can enter. Morrigan.
Real quick, is there a craft services table here?
Of course.
Kai will head over there with Aekira, but tell her don't fill up on cheese. Cheese makes you sluggish. Crackers and shrimp only.
So, with the spotlight on Sonata, Morrigan, again, you are there. In fact, as you step forward, Fade, you can feel Sonata is with you, and the crowd is. I cannot explain how much anticipation there is. People have been waiting for this moment, for Sonata to reveal herself, and they're waiting for the first note of the song to begin. So Peirce, are you going to let, like you'll see a bunch of frustrated people in the electronics booth trying to get control of the lights. You're going to kind of let go and let the show go on?
Yeah, I don't know. If Fade wants me to interject at all, that's fine.
This is going to be a battle. Yellow Jacket is going to be back and forth. She'll perform, you perform, she performs. Yeah. That's her thinking. Now, whether it goes down that way, I guess, is not necessarily her.
Mm-hmm. What I want to do while they are battling it out is, if it is possible, to figure out whatever the route is for this race.
Okay.
I don't know if I have to hack into some stuff.
Well, I will tell you, this car gives you amazing cred.
Oh, yeah?
Right? So, so the question, do you want to walk up and say, hey, I'm in?
Oh, is it that easy? Is it
Well, yeah, the inner circle is one thing, but if you have cred, you can join the race. There's going to be 3,000 racers. Imagine.
Oh, okay. I was imagining like an 8-car race, like a.
It's good because they are going to. If you think about World City with 3,000 racers, they are literally going to overwhelm the police, right?
Yeah.
There's just going to be so many cars.
Yeah. No, I'll go up to them and enter myself into the race.
Okay. All right. So that's easy enough to do. That doesn't get you into the Endless's inner circle.
Right.
However,
do I need to provide like a race name or something?
Yeah, sure. Do you have one, or do you want to think? Okay.
It's Deckard.
Deckard. Okay, that's perfect. So you will definitely gain some attention. Now, I'm not saying this is going to all ride on Fade, in the sense that her performance that could get you into the Endless. You've definitely got their attention. You could go over and try on your own. It would just require you to make a roll to kind of not only look the part, but act the part. Because there's nothing worse than owning a kick-ass car and just not having the personality to back it up, right? So it's up to you, but of course, all eyes are on the stage. So Fade, how do you want? So that's Yellow Jacket's idea. How do you want this to go down? She wants a battle of the muses. That's what she's building.
I kind of don't care what she wants. I'm here to put on a show, blow everyone's mind, and then leave the stage and wait for Endless to contact me.
Okay. All right. So do you want Peirce to effectively lock her out?
Yep.
Do you have anything to say to the crowd before you begin?
No, but I am actually just going to stay completely silent to the audience just kind of
Okay.
to build up the mystery. And I am going to instruct Peirce to give her one tiny little spotlight at the back of the stage behind me. So if she wants light, she can go stand there. But I am just going to remain silent to the crowd, very mysterious, because in my mind, these are all some really trendy, dumb hipsters that like show up for the secret show, and like they probably don't even listen to the music, but they go around saying like, oh, have you heard the latest? Like, oh, I haven't. Like, oh, well, you're not a true fan, and oh, I've got the deets on the latest secret show. So that's what I'm banking on. That these people are more into the scene than they are the music.
All right. So I love the silence. Very good idea. I'll give you a stack point for that. So Morrigan. So here's how that. So as you play the first note, Morrigan, your hand just goes across the guitar, even though you're not there. So the question is, do you want this moment to be Fades alone, or are you going to join her on stage?
I'm gonna leave that up to like, I think Morrigan, like with that kind of like connection, would put out a question, like that very, like she's in the wings, like you got this, like, because if she's wanting to take it, Morrigan will absolutely let her.
What does Fade? What do you want?
Fade absolutely is, oh, I've got this.
Okay.
Yep, that's fine.
So this is going to be an expression roll. I am going to give you advantaged because just the mystery itself, like people are just, they want to be blown away by this performance. And also you feel that as you start to play and sing, the centillion, you feel the centillion, the light literally illuminates behind you. You almost have a halo of light, and a very strange thing happens. The energy leaves you, goes out, connects to the first person in the row, then connects to the next person, and then they spread out, and a web of energy just seems to connect the entire crowd. You can make a roll for me, please.
Yes, I did with advantage, thank goodness. I got a 4 out of a 50, so one level of success. However, the first thing I'm going to do is just like play a single note and let it just kind of like echo out forever.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, very nice. So the crowd, so it echoes out forever, and when it when silence, when the note finally fades away, the crowd literally explodes. Their voices all rise up, and you'll see wings appear over them. As you can see, something appears out of the darkness. So this thing is monstrous. It's a million people. Its wings literally extend from one end of the crowd to the other. You can see the energy kind of glowing in it, and you hear a voice in your head. The elder artifact is vibrating, and the voice says, "What do you want?" Do you want me to come back? Do you want to think about it?
No, I'm thinking for a minute. I was thinking about this scene, and I was definitely going a different direction. And I think as I see these wings come up, I'm going to go with my first instinct, that when those words popped up in front of me, what do you want? Fade's first thought was a family, and she's thinking about her crew.
Interesting. So you basically become aware of her crew, but something completely unexpected happens.
And by crew, I mean these people here.
Yes.
My new crew.
But you don't always get what you want, or sometimes
of course.
more than you want. So one, you become aware of your crew. You also become aware of your mother. She's here in World City. You see her DHF. And also, and Kai, if you had gone into detail on your Black Ops network, you would notice that a Praetorian squad had been dispatched to the Endless Rave because they know the Endless were responsible for the attack, and they're trying to anticipate anything. And that squad is led by none other than Amanda Khan. And she is here. So you're going to have to tell me how Fade reacts. So all of a sudden, all of the lights fade away except for your crew, who are all in the distance, your mother, who is near Kai in Summit House, and this point of light just off to the side of the crowd. And I had always been calling her sister, but it is in fact not your sister. It's you. It's your DHF. Raised, not stolen, restored and raised by your mother. It's a twin, another life, a parallel. So all of a sudden you come to this realization, because you're connected to her, she's hearing the music, all of this floods into your mind. You don't know how, but the DHF was restored.
I am going to look in the direction of her DHF.
Yeah.
And look down at this musical interface, this keyboard, whatever I've got in front of me. And I am going to, with the centillion on my back and the connection to the crowd, I am going to put everything I feel towards this other me out into the music. The feelings of loss, betrayal, loneliness, of my mind breaking over and over again, not being raised in reality, and just like a jealousy that doesn't even really count as jealousy anymore, just pain, that I did get to live the life I wanted, but not as me.
Give you a stock point for that. And you make that connection. And so you become aware of her, she becomes aware of you, and you sense from her that the mission that she was sent here on, the Endless Rave, the summit, all of that just falls away. Her purpose becomes singular, which is to get to you. And she starts to move, and that's where, and we'll switch away. Sorry, Morrigan, that I've been late, or Sarah, but we will get to you. You'll have your moment. So, Peirce, before we leave the rave, you see this performance going on? I mean, you're captivated by it as well. You're actually having a bit of a hard time concentrating because it's so captivating. Like it's almost like you go to take an action, and then a few minutes pass, and you realize you're just watching fade. You kind of shake it off. And so are you just going to wait for the concert to conclude, or are you doing anything before I switch back to Kai?
I don't think I can take my eyes away.
Okay. All right. So Kai, the reception at Summit House, you get to the craft table. You're enjoying a bit of cheese, but not too much. Aekira is kind of scoping things out when you are approached by two gentlemen. One is much larger than the other.
Larger, like taller or broader?
Yeah. Garrison Popoff is like 7 feet tall. Ash Gareth is about 5'6". So they're quite different. If you recall, you met these two in the limo. Ash Gareth is the lover of Roman Volkov. He tried to pay you guys to make sure that the sleeve was not recovered. And of course, when he sees you across the room, he makes a beeline for you with Pop-Off in tow, and he is like, "What the fuck are you thinking?" He says, "I hope you're not thinking that the little conversation we had in the limo is going to go beyond the limo. I know you're meeting with Roman, so explain yourself. Otherwise, Pop-Off here."
It's gonna pop off.
Well, in case you didn't notice, there are no railings. He's kind of clumsy. He might just accidentally push you over the edge.
Oh, pop off wouldn't do that, would you, pop off?
He'll shrug. He goes,
I thought we were mates, pop off.
"What the fuck are you meeting with Roman for? Just about that goddamn sleeve."
No. And frankly, I don't think it's any of your business. I'm going to have him look at my stock portfolio for what it's worth.
All right, asshole. How much? I know
How
this
much?
takedown. How much? How much do you want?
$100 million in untraceable credits.
He turns to Pop-Off. You can see Aekira is getting ready to kind of make a move, and he goes, "Throw this guy." He goes, "Throw him over the edge," and Pop-Off is like, "I don't think that would be wise."
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be wise at all. I don't want to pull like the breast of my jacket back and reveal the dead man switch that I've got. It'd be a real bad idea. Let's try to keep things quiet. Let me have my meeting with Romanov, well, Volcano, whatever. And I'll leave with no one here the wiser of what went down. I'm just here to have a conversation with the man. It's none of your concern. So you can sit down, shut the hell up, and let me tend to my business.
If you fuck me, I'll download myself into that goddamn sleeve, and I'll come and find you. Got it? Then I'll be fucking you. Got it?
Yeah.
Good. And he'll kind of straighten his suit out.
I'm gonna lean over to Aekira. Did he just threaten to fuck me?
Aekira goes, "Yeah, I think he did." She'll shrug.
That's.
I guess he's a lover, not a fighter.
This is the most confused I've ever been sexually since I got my dick stuck in that VHS player when I was 13.
Don't need to know that. Anyway, let's get back to the mission. So, as you mingle, the concert fade. You're gonna. How do you bring this to a close? I will tell you, the Centillion is almost exponentially growing in energy because of the amount of it's just feeding off the crowd. You almost think that you could, although the ramifications might be intense, momentarily, like you get a thought in your mind that you could just pull everyone's DHF into the air above them in one big display of light. That's the Centillion thinking.
Where is my sister?
She's
How far from me is she?
I'll say she's not. She's basically at this point. She's reached the edge of the kind of the periphery of the stage, the edge of it. So not far, maybe 100 feet.
Having put everything into what I just played, I will bring it back to silence and then just have everything go dark and then start to leave the stage walking towards her.
And as things go dark, do you guys want to take a 5-minute break? Come back and pick up with you, Morrigan. Welcome back to the Atrium of Aquarius. We will pick up with Morrigan, who has, the concert has just come to its conclusion. The final note has just kind of gone into silence. And Fade has your connection with her to some extent. And Fade, you can correct me if you wouldn't do this, but your connection with her is kind of just pushed away as she becomes singularly focused. And you kind of snap back to the present. You strum the guitar, and Brittany is like, "It's time."
Morrigan will just sit there with the guitar, and she'll nod, and she'll slide her hand along the fretboard, like kind of mimicking out a couple of chords, and then she will start to play, but it's not anything she's ever played before. She will sit there and kind of just start tapping out sounds, like she's putting together like a new piece of music. There's a bright melody line that's a little discordant over the top of like a swapping into a more analytical, very clinical guitar riff, and like followed by a deeper, like smoother, comforting bass that kind of like all mixes together as she thinks of this group of friends that she's found who's supporting her. And Morrigan plays a sonata. She writes out in that moment, losing herself in the music. She plays a sonata dedicated and inspired by this group of humans that she's fallen in with, and a little bit in the back of her mind thinking of the kiss that like Kai left her with, playing to no one but an AI. Morrigan says goodbye in this piece of music, unsure of what's going to happen, but knowing that like a part of her will remain in the music.
And as this song kind of takes over, gains a power of its own, it takes you away with it, and you just suddenly, your DHF is gone. Your body slumps, your sleeve slumps in the chair, the guitar kind of falling away, and you find yourself racing across the cosmos. And in a second, you're again the now familiar, if slightly unpleasant experience of having your body literally printed or built, and your DHF landing in it. You find yourself inside the bioprinter.
As she like gains consciousness, her first thing that she's gonna do, it's gonna be like a deep breath, inhale, and then exhale as she steps out of the bioscanner.
You step out. You're not in World City. You're on Neo Atlantis. You're in the familiar room. This time, no one is sleeping in the bed, but the infinity balcony that kind of is right at water level, you can see standing on it is Aquaria, not Athena. She's looking out at a harvester as it's going by in the distance.
Morrigan will quietly pad over to stand next to her and stare out at the harvester as well.
She reaches for your hand with her own, and if you let her, she'll take your hand. And the next, so this conversation, she knows that time is of the essence for you. So this conversation is literally going to occur in a matter of seconds, but we have all the time, that we need. when you're looking at the harvester, you can see that she's looking at it with a bit of nostalgic. You can feel it, kind of the nostalgia. She'll turn and she'll say, "I was a technician once. I worked on them." She goes, "Dangerous work. The gravity here is unpredictable because of the moons. Sometimes there's rogue waves a mile high. The harvesters can withstand it, but I was outside. I was swept away." As she kind of looks back at the harvester again with that, to some extent, there's a bit of a longing maybe for the old life. And she's like, "I was young, living paycheck to paycheck. I just never got around to saving enough credits for a backup. So I died and came to rest at the bottom of the ocean, where my body became entangled with a centillion. Its life force passed through my DHF, and parts of me, in turn, were absorbed. Do you want to know what they are?"
Yes.
The elder race had physical bodies as well, but they were powerful beings of energy. Their souls, for lack of a better term, were more advanced versions of our own DHFs. They could use the power of spirit to power their technology. We call elder artifacts. They could transfer from one body to the next via touch or even thought. They could possess objects and other living things. But in all their power, they could not escape the harsh truth of immortality. That time erodes the soul and steals away your will to live. But they could not accept death. It is not something they would consider. So some chose to de-evolve, regress to a simpler, pure existence. Some became the songspire trees, while others descended into the seas and possessed the creatures there. They became the centillions. The centillions became them. And when I merged with them, I gained the ability to wield the energy that makes up all life. When she'll reach out, she moves her hand from your hand to your, she's still touching your hand, but in the mind, she reaches up to touch your the side of your face.
Mm-hmm.
When we first met, Sonata, can I ask a question? What is your identity? Morrigan or Sonata?
Morrigan.
Okay, then that's what she'll use. When we first met, Morrigan, you are a fragmented amalgam of personas, each one meant to be activated when their skill was required. I showed you how to bring all of them together. So instead of 100 different instruments playing solo, you became an orchestra. But you decided to go back to Earth to save the Atrium from Psychosec. Something went wrong. I'm sorry about that. Many pieces of you were stripped away. But what was left has grown into something extraordinary. Psychosec believes they are dealing with the thing that they created. Show them the person you've become. Without anyone else. The person that you've made yourself into on your own.
That's the thing.
You know who you are.
I didn't until I found them.
I hold the belief that all of us are made of the same energy. In essence, we are all one. doesn't mean that we're also not unique, special. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Not Psychosec, not me, no one.
How do we keep you safe here? How do we keep you hidden?
You must return to Earth. But this time, you need to succeed where last time you failed. Then come back to me. I cannot help you, but the energy that makes up my being goes with you. Use your power. Show them.
They will see what I've become. And Morrigan will, in this mind space that they've created, bow low in respect for this being.
And she pulls you back up. We are equals, remember. And she'll give you a kiss on the forehead. All our hopes go with you.
Morrigan will just nod.
And with that, she releases your hand in real life, and your sleeve just topples into the, you're not even aware, you're gone, racing across the galaxy, back to Earth, where moments later, you again go through the process of materializing in a printed body inside a similar device. But this time, you're not on Neo Atlantis. You're where you need to be, the Psychosec labs in World City.
This time with a little more, with less hesitancy, more confidence. The second that she's fully integrated into her new sleeve, Morrigan will step out of the bioscanner.
Okay, and you step out into a relatively Spartan room. You can actually see there's like 4 bioscanners in a row. There's consoles and computers, but there's no one here. You do see some exits, but you see the console that controls the bioscanner, and more importantly, the needle caster that is attached to it.
She will move with purpose to the bioscanner, following the instructions that Brittany gave to begin printing.
And there would be a locker here with like jumpsuits and shoes type thing for people who kind of show up.
Yeah, she would start the scan. She'd start the printing first, and then begin to look for other resources.
All right, this may not be your best skill, but you're going to have to make a digital networking. Because Brittany gave you help, you will get advantage here because she told you exactly what to do.
I'm nervous. I'm not very good at this. Oh, hell yeah. That's a 3 because of the advantage, under 4.
Nice. So you quickly go in, make a connection with Brittany, Peirce's safe house. Now, she can't come in because there's AI firewalls, but you can human DHF because it's not considered a threat. And Peirce, number 2, suddenly you become aware of your existence as this printer prints your original body, and you step out into the Psychosec facility. There's probably a mirror in the room. It would make sense to me that when people are printed, they would want to step out and kind of look at their sleeves. So as you step out of this printer, you can see yourself looking back for the first time, and well, since you were murdered.
Well, all right then.
Before Saren can get too much more of his bearings, Morrigan, from kind of casually sitting on a table, will huck one of these jumpsuits at his chest, and it will hit with surprising force as she kind of raises a brow and goes, "New look, huh?"
He like looks down at the suit and then kind of blushes a little bit and like turns around and starts putting the suit on. Yeah, oh, this is gonna be fucking awkward. I'm assuming at some point I'm gonna have to talk to myself in my dad's body, as myself in my body, and that's gonna be fucking weird.
I'm sure that'll probably be very difficult for you.
Haha. All right. Is Brittany already here?
No, she can't come in because of AI firewalls. You're gonna have to take them down.
Morgan will gesture over to a console that I'm sure she's identified, waiting for it to be downloaded and for him to be printed.
Okay.
You'll note a couple of things in here. So there's four BIOS printers. You'll also notice, Peirce, in the corner there is a materials printer. Essentially, it prints objects. If you have the schematics, it can print it.
Oh, okay. I will print a couple of bonies because I'm sure we don't have those.
Yep.
So that we can do literally anything. And then I guess some pistols.
Okay.
Whatever weapons. How about this? Whatever weapons we would typically have, I'll go ahead and print those.
Yeah. So if you had the forethought to have to basically have schematics ready, Brittany would. I mean, you won't necessarily have them immediately accessible. Once Brittany's here, you can basically print anything that you own, including your swords if you want.
Cool. Yeah, I will go ahead and do that, and then make sure Morgan is outfitted as well, and then start to.
So you need to bring Brittany in, which means getting past the Psychosec AI firewall.
Let's do it.
That is a digital networking role.
While he's doing that, Morgan would position herself like near a door in case anybody comes in.
You want to do a bit of recon out of the room, or you just want to stay and wait?
She's gonna stay and wait to make sure he's successfully able to get her in. At that point, yeah, she would recon.
All right, Peirce, you're going to have to make a roll here.
Yes, it's digital networking, correct?
That's correct. This is a pretty sophisticated system. You didn't save any stock points.
I did not. However, that is
If you
two.
fail this roll, the entire plan and adventure just comes to an end. No.
Well, it's a good thing I rolled a 2.
Oh, okay. You ever done that as a GM? You have your storyline going along, and you go like, "Wait a minute, the whole thing counts on this one roll."
Yep.
You could jump in, and you can be going along there. You can be going in, removing the AI firewalls. One of the things I will give you, because your success was a pretty good one, is that you detect that there is another active AI on the system. However, they're not concerning themselves with the security, but
Right.
you note their presence. And so you do that, and Brittany doesn't print. Essentially, she comes in and she's active on your Oni, and you can print a nano emitter for her so she can take physical form.
Yeah, sure.
And after that's done, we will switch to, we'll come back. We're going to switch to Fade as, so the Victorians are not there, as a woman. So Fade, this is, you probably would have no idea what you really would look like, but this is what you would look like. This is your DNA used to create a clone body. So you are actually looking at the person you would have been if you had not been stolen and had been allowed to grow up. Yeah. So what's going through your mind as you're literally like 10 feet apart, staring at each other?
I am just going to kind of look over her, and as I do, my image that I keep on myself uh will flicker for just a moment, like mirroring her.
Oh, okay.
But it'll settle back as the me that I see myself. Um, and I will just look at her and say, "Does she love you?
My God, how's this possible?
Does she love you? Was she a good mom? Did you play?"
I don't know how to answer that. She, does she know?
I don't know.
Oh my God, everything makes sense now. I don't know how you exist. Is she a good mother? She raised me to be a good soldier, to serve the Protectorate, to follow in our father's footsteps. Oh my God, he was killed raiding soul markets. He was killed looking for you, wasn't he?
That makes me sad. I am sorry if you didn't want to be a soldier. I always imagined there was like some sort of picket fence and games of catch or tea parties or things like that. But maybe not. Maybe I'll just keep that as my own little dream.
But you're not a dream. She steps forward. You're real. You're
Yeah.
me.
No. I'm me. I think maybe that's a good thing.
Our mother needs to explain this. I need her to explain.
I didn't think I do. Not anymore.
So what now?
I don't know. We exchange numbers? I know a great place for ice cream.
Is that simple?
It's been a weird few weeks for me. And I feel like I'm just happy being me.
Now I understand why Sonata was an enigma. Why she stayed in the shadows. That would be a logical conclusion.
Yeah, she's super mysterious. Honestly, I feel like her talent has grown lately.
She looks over her shoulder back at where her team is located. She goes, I have to go back, but I need more. You may not need answers, but I do.
You can get them, but if you
don't want to see
maybe
her?
want another you as sister, kind of, to talk to. I mean, we could always braid each other's hair and put on makeup.
She looks at you a bit incredulous, like that's what you're thinking at this moment, but she's like, she's going to want to meet you.
She can want a lot of things. I wanted a mom.
Was it her fault?
I don't know. I don't know if it matters.
All right, she will take a step back. Still, you can see the turmoil all over her face as she steps away.
I'm gonna
And-
just reach forward and grab her hand and be like, "Hey, I'm serious though. You want ice cream?"
She'll look at you and she'll just say, I like ice cream.
And I'm just gonna give her a big hug, and
Okay.
then like stand back and be like, "Okay, I have to go join some sort of club."
And you can leave the stage, and you'll find Peirce waiting for you in the front row with a kick-ass car.
I'm gonna look at him and be like, "Did you know there's two me's?"
Did you know there's two me's?
I'm starting to think everybody's just got a double.
Well, it's actually kind of fun. Anyway, you wanna go for a ride?
Hell yeah! Can I drive?
Someone can drive, someone can operate the weapon systems.
Do you want to drive or shoot?
Okay, no. I want to shoot.
Somehow I'm still not okay. Yes, you can shoot. Yeah, get us into the inner circle, I guess. Sonata.
So you can walk wherever you want. The Endless Rave has, it's reached a peak of height as the cars are revving, as the racers are ready to go, and you can all walk into the inner circle of the Endless. Not that there's a whole lot of time, but their leader, Ron Wu Jin, will walk up to you. Actually, they'll all walk up to you, and they all take a knee before you, Fade. And you'll hear one of them go, "Our goddess, Sonata."
So pleased to meet you.
That was the performance to end all performances. A
I
soothing
know I should retire on top, really.
a fitting eulogy to the end of the Protectorate.
Indeed. So what's the deal with that? You gonna give me a cool new club member card?
You want a front row seat?
Well, I was hoping more than that.
Then you can ride with me.
Okay, I'm just gonna look back at Peirce and then like, okay.
And you can see she just you give him a little wave. So Peirce, looks like you're driving and shooting.
This is more what I thought was going to happen, so good.
So they bring you in you're brought into the inner circle. You get into the car. I have no idea how this is going to unfold, but here we go. So he gets in. They rev the engines, and the cars one by one start to go to the rally point. Peirce, you're in the Blade Runner 2049. The dashboard is holographic. It lights up. Lights all around you. The windshield, of course, this is armored, and the windscreen itself has so many different optics. You've never seen the world in this many different formats. So you get in, buckle yourself up. There is an internal nanoswarm emitter that will actually form a suit around you with a helmet, and you are mentally tied into the car. So you don't necessarily. So here's the cool thing. I wasn't sure whether or not you would actually have a good piloting skill. So thinking ahead, you can actually drive this car using your dipper skills, your program. So essentially, digital networking. It does have a weapon system.
Okay.
Weapon systems are invisible at the moment. They basically appear when you need them, formed from nanoswarm emitters on the exterior of the vehicle. Homing micro missiles, and of course a plasma cannon are at your disposal. Plus a variety of different things like chaff and stuff like anything you can. This is such an awesome car. Anything you can imagine, we'll see if we can fit it in.
Okay.
Okay. No nukes though. And they take to the skies. Actually, you know what? They'll drive out on wheels until they get to an access point straight up, and then every car just shoots up, and the rave and the endless race is unleashed upon World City. Kai, and I assume that, again, I'm just assuming that you're all kind of letting everybody else know what you're doing and what's going on, but that's up to you guys.
Okay.
So Summit House. So Kai, you get the signal that the endless race has begun, which means the cars will likely be arriving at Summit's house at some point. Aekira is kind of looking at you. She's like, all right, so we just wait for something to happen and then react, right? Is that what we're doing?
I suppose. We do have a meeting with Volkanov. Also, hold on, and I'm going to open comms again. Saren.
Yep.
And I'll lower my voice. You said the endless race might be going through the building. I'm on the 52nd floor, mate. Is it?
No, sorry, it's not 52nd. 150 seconds. Sorry.
Right. That's
You're a mile in the air.
better.
Not through the building, but near it.
Right. Are you guys floating through, or are you low riding? Is this?
Listen,
Well, you have no walls around you. You're literally the roof of the building with no railings. You are literally standing on it with like 300 other people.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The target is most likely up there.
The race will be going by the platform, though.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to clarify what was going on. That makes a bit more sense. I'll be a bit less smug about things you tell me in the future. My apologies.
By the way, if you need to, I mean, you're gonna blow them all up, right?
Well, that's the plan.
If you need an escape route, let me know closer to it, and I might be able to help you out.
I'm hoping this meeting with Volkanov is a few floors down. But yeah, if we end up diving out of a window, I'll be sure to own you as quickly as possible.
Right. Okay. Good luck.
Thank you. Also, Morrigan, if you heard what Popov's handler said, I didn't come onto him. He came onto me. I had no intention of fucking him in my own sleeve. There's a lot to process right now. I'm sorry.
And Morrigan, as he's talking over the Oni, you hear another voice as someone walks up to you, Kai and Aekira. You hear the voice of Madison Trask. You hear it say, I thought I knew everyone at this event, but I guess I was wrong. Madison Trask, CEO of Cyclosec. She holds out her hand to you, Kai. I assume you're here representing some corporate interest?
I'm here for a meeting. I'm not sure whether he'd like his name thrown out there, as I'm not his typical clientele, but I'm here for a meeting.
It's customary not to throw other people's names around when someone introduces themselves. Just yours.
Certainly. Kai Rhodes.
Mr. Rhodes. Well, I certainly understand why confidentiality when it comes to business. So she looks around. She goes, I personally can't stand events like this. They show weakness.
Weakness to flaunt one's money on a rooftop with no railings?
She goes,
Seems a bit daredevilish to me.
oh, leaders of the off-world colonies, like Zale, think they can hold the Protectorate ransom by controlling the supply chain. Some might call it political maneuvering, but I call it treason. You ever served the Protectorate?
I did a tour when I was younger. Yeah,
SeaTac?
indeed.
Well, betrayal is the most heinous of sins. When you discover a Judas, there's only one action in my book. Make an example of them.
Are you speaking from experience?
So, when you left SeaTac, did you retire or were you dishonorably discharged?
You ask that question as if you know the answer already. Which leads me to believe you know more about me than I know about you.
Oh, Kai Rhodes. Of course, I would know everything about the man who killed me. Betrayed his team. Surprised, expecting Miss Trask. Someone had sight, but our good CEO was a bit preoccupied. Yes. So, what are you gonna do now, Rhodes? Draw down on me again? I'm in a sleeve of a fucking map, and you're in the sleeve of a fucking traitor. How do you think that's gonna play out? Who do you think the Praetorians will fire on? Me? No. You're gonna sit there and you're gonna watch while I make an example of all the traitors in this room, on this rooftop. And then I'm gonna deal with you. And he looks and he goes, well.
And he goes, what?
Oh, he'll look over at Aekira because she's kind of looking at this conversation, looking at you. She's got a concerned look on her face, and he goes, huh, this just got very interesting. Once you're dead,
you should know something about me
he'll
that you probably don't know. But people who try to teach me lessons, those lessons tend not to stick. I'm a slow learner. Teachers used to hate me when I was a kid because of that.
You're going to be dead. And when you are, I'm taking her back.
Funny that. Also tends not to stick. But we'll see if you could succeed where many, many, many others have failed before.
Two wolves amongst the sheep. Let's see who can eat the most. And he'll take a step back. You can give me, I guess, a detection roll, please.
Oh yeah, just upgraded that bad boy. 6. 3 under 5.
Nice. As Trask steps away, but it's not Trask at all, as you figured out. It's Major Darius in Trask's sleeve. You can see you can tell special forces like hand gestures and signals. You can see he makes them to others in the room, a server, a body, a server, an aide, and you realize that the whole SeaTac team that you put down is here. Why they're here and what their objective is remains to be seen. Perhaps Morrigan and Peirce can shed light on, or Peirce number 2 can shed some light on it. Brittany appears, and now it's your move. I assume you're going to leave this room and move into the facility.
I'm following your lead, Morrigan. We're here to kill Locks, right?
That's right. Sheehan?
Yeah.
Well, you know that there's a, you could probably bring up schematics. You know that there's a central headquarters or lab area. So your
Mhm.
group, you can make your way there. Brittany's actually probably tied into the system, so she'll lead along, and you'll actually come into a room. You come into a relatively large room where you'll see there's all kinds of machines and cryo chambers and consoles, and you can see that there's a row of consoles, and inside each one is the sleeve of all of the most powerful people: Bancroft, Stone, Bai, Zale, both on Earth and in the off-world colonies. There is a console that's kind of attached to all of the containers, and there's kind of this 3D holographic projection of data just kind of rotating in the middle of the room. But you don't see any signs of anyone. Brittany
Please.
say I'll try to access, but what would you like to do?
All of these people are at the summit, aren't they?
There, yeah. Kide or Peirce, do you want to try and get into the system?
Yes.
So just remember, with Brittany's assistance, you will have advantage on your rolls. So what this looks, I mean, you would probably all have a basic enough understanding to realize that what this is, these are sleeve chambers all ready to receive DHF.
Right. I think Morrigan's she's walking down the line looking at them, kind of like out loud talking to herself. These are all at that summit. If they're planning on blowing up their sleeves and bringing them here, why?
Well,
Wait. Peirce, could this AI somehow merge with their DHFs?
I would think it's possible for something like that to happen because of Rawlings, right? We see Rawlings affecting DHF, and it kind of splints itself onto the personalities of others. It's possible for this, this AI to create some sort of virus.
Morrigan, in your own mind, you realize that Locks took 75% of who you were, including what was changed by Aquarius. It's quite possible that he was able to use that DHF freight to create a virus that would essentially, just like you, I mean, he's obviously an expert in merging DHF together. Of course he could sew it together.
Right.
Just like he created you.
Right. I think she's putting together Project Remora, right? Is a creature that it attaches itself to a larger predator, right?
Yep.
So the idea being, like, she's starting to put the pieces together. If these people are forced to this facility because they're nuked where they're at, and they are built into these sleeves, Dr. Locks could then split their DHF and splice in his own coding to basically make them pawns. Give Psychosec power and control over every major player currently in World City that impacts the larger political spectrum.
Absolutely.
As Morrigan puts all of these things together, looking at these sleeves, she'll just stop. Fuck.
And with that, we will switch to Fade and Peirce. We're racing through World City. The police are doing what they, there's police cars, military vehicles doing what they can, but there are 3,000 racers causing chaos, and you know that within that chaos. So the cool thing is that Morrigan, I'm assuming, Fade, I'm assuming you're transmitting your location to Peirce.
Yeah, and I've basically just got my Oni on broadcast, so that if anyone wants to tune in to what I'm hearing or saying, they can. Not everyone, but our crew.
You can, so basically, let's just assume that everybody can hear what is going on with everybody else. So if you feel like your character wants to interject, don't feel like you have to sit back. Just go, hey, I have something to add. So Fade, you're in the front seat with Ron Woo Jin as you're flying through the city. The 3,000 cars. You asked Peirce earlier whether there was a route to the race. There was, but at the halfway point, a signal goes out to every driver to essentially break off and cause chaos, essentially confusion and clutter, so that the Endless can make a beeline for Summit Place. So they pull so Fade, you're in it. Suddenly, the cars start gaining altitude and rocketing into the sky towards this towering building, which again is taller than any other structure on World City. And you can see there's electronic feed coming in, and Ron Woo Jin, he's he punches up a couple of consoles, and give me since you're there, give me I would say this would be data analysis to understand what you're seeing. Since everybody is tied to Brittany, I will allow, if you have an open feed, I will give you advantage on anything data related because of Brittany's assistance.
Okay. Oh, nope.
Yes,
Can I? You know what? Yeah, I've got so many stack points. May I use a stack point to just understand what I'm looking at?
Yes, you can. So as Summit Place is coming into view, Kai, you can, I don't know whether you'll position yourself near the edge, looking out into the sky, watching these lights approach.
I'm going to maintain position by the craft services table where under which we will be storing the music case full of C4.
Aekira goes over to you and she's like, what's going on? Who is that? Who was that?
Don't you recognize him?
Fuck.
He put on a dress just for you. That was the Major. Shame that we'll have to kill him twice in one lifetime, but here we are.
We can't just open fire on them.
No, of course not. Do me a favor, hide that music guitar case underneath the table.
You can't open fire on them.
Well, now, slow down there, Kira.
No. I open fire on him. You open fire on me. You're a hero.
Don't be stupid. That's not the way this works.
If they examine the DHF in Trask's body, they'll find out it's not her. They'll believe you.
I don't think that's the way we get credibility around here. And also, they're not going to search a meths DHF on the word of a potential hero.
Well, you got a better idea?
Yeah, I got one. And it's on your back right now. Put that under the table.
And Fade, what you realize, the cars are zooming in on Summit House. Peirce, you're behind. Fade, you realize that what you're looking at is essentially lit targets. So essentially, today's standards, you would have someone with an infrared laser who would light up a target, and then a plane flying overhead would release a missile, and it would hone in on where that.
They're painted. Okay.
They're painted. So these are
as that happens, you'll hear Morrigan over the comm say, "We've got a fucking problem. Those meths can't die."
I'm gonna look over at Jen and just while I'm hearing this, just super casual, maybe roll down the window a little bit and do this out the window.
Jen goes, "Party time. Hold on," and he'll press a couple of buttons, and you can see. Excuse
me, Jen. What are you doing there?
You are behind, as you can see a molecular railgun essentially comes into existence. You threw a nanoswarm on the top of this flying vehicle. All right, sorry, we got to we got to get everybody up to the same point, and then we will be rolling. Then we will be rolling initiative.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Jin what he's doing, and I'm gonna ask it very much in the tone of like,
you, and he goes, changing the world, baby.
That sounds awesome. And I know you said we're gonna roll initiative, but my intention is to just stab him right up through the throat.
Okay, so we know your intention. So Morrigan, as you're there, Brittany, so Peirce, could you please make a roll for me on the digital networking to gain access to Project Remora?
Yes, it was a 2.
Oh, a 2. Oh, yeah, sorry, I got that. Yeah. All right. As you get in there, what you realize is that because the Endless had attacked the summit or the trade center a month ago, it was absolutely expected that they would try something again. Psychosect has been awarded the contract to house the backups of all of the meths and the delegates, so that should an event occur, the summit will not be disrupted because sleeves and DHF aren't on the ground and can just be deployed within, within like under an hour. In terms of, people can get back to business. Again, there's no fear of death here. It doesn't matter if they get killed. They've got their sleeves here. They've got their backups here. It's an inconvenience, but the summit will be rolling again before you know it. Psychosec won this contract, probably through political influencing, and this is it. The DHF of all of these meths are here, and their sleeves are here. The moment they die, they're all going to be downloaded, and if what Morrigan says is true, in one fell swoop, Psychosec will literally control all of the most powerful people in the Protectorate. In fact, Brittany will say, she actually says it out loud. She realizes same as you. She'll materialize. She turns towards you, Morrigan, and she'll say, Summit House, if they are all killed, these sleeves will be activated and all of the mess will fall under Psychosec's control.
Can we lock them out? Can we keep the DHF from ever making this facility, force them to another backup site?
The door opens, and standing behind it is the real Madison Trask. And she wouldn't trust people because they would know too much and she can't trust them. And synth droids, AI-controlled synth droids, 4 of them will essentially walk into the room. And Trask, she'll say, "You're correct, Morrigan. You were always smart. You may have betrayed your purpose, or whatever this is." She points to, I guess, what you've made yourself. But the Lots was able to get enough of your modified engrams from your DHF to perfect the Remora virus. We can now merge DHF code within existing DHF, create a backdoor to the soul, so to speak. A backdoor that will allow us to plant thoughts, passions.
Here's the problem with all your bullshit, Trask. As Morgan just cuts her off and turns and starts walking towards her. You're talking about how much you took and whatever the fuck I am. But let's talk about it, because you didn't take enough, and now I'm here to fucking end it. And Morgan's gonna launch herself into melee combat.
So there are 4 synths with guns. So just for dramatic effect, because she was ready for this, she was waiting. The 4 synths just shred Morrigan to pieces, just she is just shredded, and her sleeve, her stack, she just kind of goes down. Peirce, as you're like standing there at the console. Brittany is a bit taken back, and Morrigan, whew, just like the first time, you step out of the shower again, even more pissed off.
She's just gonna like turn around and go, God damn it, and like immediately start like rerouting her body into the system, but this time she's gonna try and target dropping her body into those sleeves that are already in that room. So she's targeting Roman Volkov's sleeve. As she, like, if she's gonna be able to do that, she's gonna take these sleeves.
Not going to appear in the bioprinter. You see your body go down. You're gonna go and try and take over Volkov's sleeve. Fascinating. This would be, I think, I'm going to say it's expression. Why not? I mean, you're manipulating the energy with your passions.
That's a 2 under 5.
And you appear in Volkov's. The machine identifies that a DHF has been downloaded. The door opens. Peirce, you're kind of standing at the console. Trask looks towards you when Volkov steps out. She kind of raises her eyebrow, and she's like, unexpected, but it doesn't change anything. And she will say, and she'll like, kill them all, as she directs her synths. And we're going to pause there because the synths are going to act. We've got Fade ready to act. Peirce, you see this railgun appear. Unfortunately, Fade is in. So this car is not alone. There's 6 endless cars. They're all flying in formation. The other ones are kind of protecting the one in the middle where the railgun appears. You realize if you were to fire on the car with the railgun, you're going to hit Fade. But what is your intention as they're closing on Summit House and this railgun is about to open fire?
Hey, Fade. Can you wish with all your heart to be in my passenger seat real quick? As I'm pressing a big red button and launching the arsenal at the at the car.
We're going to have speed dice time. Sorry, Kate, Fade, you can say something back to him before we roll.
Yeah, is he saying this after I've stabbed the guy?
You're just pulling out your knife is just materializing.
Could you just wait a second?
You could. She says, "I got this." We'll see. You might win the speed dice. We'll see what happens. So Kai, give me just before you roll. Are you guys sharing that there are targets? You share that the targets are lit up. Kai, if you want to give me another detection roll.
You didn't hear any of that. I said, yeah, I could do that, and then I rolled a 4 under 5.
Nice. So as you are Aekira are standing there, you can see that Darius's cronies, which you had identified, you can note all of their Onis are kind of lit up, and each of them is looking at a map. They're the ones lighting the targets. So, what is your? So you don't have to act, but what is your?
Whose Onis were lighting up? Or is it the soldiers that are here?
No. So when Darius walked away in Trask's sleeve, you noticed that he used special forces signals, one to a waiter, another to an aide. You realize that the CTAC is here, that his team is here, but they're in imposter sleeves, right?
Right.
So you see it's them that are lighting up the meths for the
right. Yeah. That's what I
define.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
But of course, if you open fire on them, there's also Protectorate security here. If you open fire on them, it's quite possible that the Praetorians will open fire on you. What are you going to? Well, it's just a risk you'll have to take. Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't be the first time. Shit, Kira, we may need to enact a plan sooner than I thought. Hey, Saren, we may need that pickup a lot sooner than I thought we would. Things are about to go tits up over here.
And
we can't blow up the building anymore.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't think that's in the cards. I think an explosion may still be necessary, just not up here.
Throw it off the roof.
That's what I was thinking, and I kicked the music case like clear off the edge.
So let's roll speed dice. So just a reminder, you get 1 speed die for each of your points in perception, that first number. So if you have a 50, you get 5, 40, you get 4, 60, you get 6. And so we're basically rolling initiative in advance. And low rolls are good, high rolls are bad, but you get to decide the order in which you use them. So for round number 1, you can pick a speed dice, and we're all going to reveal. So, and this will happen simultaneously.
Yeah, question. Do my speed dice apply to both Sarens?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yes, it does. Ironically, they're in sync. They're acting at the same time. Okay, so speed dice number 1. I need this to be intense, so I'm going with my best. I'm going with a 1.
I got a 1 as well.
Okay. Oh, you got a 4, Morrigan? Okay. 1 and Kai.
You know what? I'm gonna go on 2.
Gonna go on 2. Okay, interesting. Okay. So Fade, in the car,
Yes.
the railgun fires. It's going to be simultaneous. So the railgun does go off, but you get to strike. Advantage because it's unexpected.
Yeah, I
What?
am.
So you know what? I might get you to do. No, I'm just going to give you advantage because it's your Sonata.
Yeah, I mean, also, like, my hand literally turns into a blade, so I'm just gonna reach over to him and just stab right up into his throat, basically just severing it, so that I can take over this car. And okay.
So you're advantaged. You're going to make a melee combat roll. You know what the reality is? I think I'm going to give you triple advantage because
Sweet.
it's just. I mean, he's buckled into a seat.
4,
You're
so
into a seat.
I have just flat success with my first one, 1 level of success with my second one, 1 level of success with my third one. So
Yeah,
1
so-
level of success.
So essentially, it's unexpected. So how this works is you'll do the damage of your knife, which I believe is a die 8. Am I correct? You
Die
might
plus strength.
die 8 plus your strength. Yeah. So you have 1 level of success. Sorry, you got 1 low. You basically have 2, right? You got 1 lower than your level of success.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's an extra success. So you're basically
okay.
going to roll and multiply it by 2.
Okay, so 7 times 2 is 14, and my strength is a 40. Right?
Yeah. So add 4. So essentially 11. So 22 damage. Nice. So you drive the blade into his neck, and blue blood starts to spurts out, and he looks at you. He's a synth.
Okay.
Synth. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Does this appear to incapacitate him as like I kind of rip the blade forward?
Has not incapacitated him. If he had been human, absolutely. If he had been in a human sleeve, but this is a synth sleeve, and you can see it's already repairing itself. Combat model, and he's like, he kind of looks at you and kind of gives you that, really? And the railgun goes off. Let's see. I'm just going to roll randomly here. You can see the list of meths that are up here. I just rolled 4 on my screen. That's you, Kai. Which one just got taken out? Just got their neck disintegrated. Pick any one of them.
Any one of
Pick
the marked?
Volkov. Pick Volkov.
Bancroft, Stone, Bai, Zale, Volkov, Harlan, or Khan.
Yeah, we'll go with Volkov first. Why not?
And Volkov gets all of a sudden he is incinerated. His neck is disintegrated. His head just falls off. This stack. Kai or Ash Gareth screams as he sees his lover being incinerated before his eyes, and of course, mayhem will ensue. Peirce, you got a 1?
Yes.
All right. So, what are you going to do? The railgun is fired.
I guess I got to do this for multiple scenes. Yeah. Railgun has fired. Fade told me to wait.
There are 6 targets in total. The one with the gun, plus the 5 escorts.
Yeah. I'm gonna. I guess I'm gonna attack the escorts right now.
Okay.
If Fade's asking me to wait, I'll attack the escorts.
Okay. So in this case, I don't. They don't have like they don't really have a skill for vehicle weapons. So because I said that you can use you're basically flying the vehicle through programming. I'll let you use digital networking for this. So.
Okay.
So you target vehicles.
Yep, that is a 2 under 50. So.
Okay.
4 successes.
Micro missiles or plasma cannon?
Missiles.
Okay. So the missiles streak out, spiral around, and they will impact with one of the cars, completely blowing it out of the sky. The other car, however, seeing that, the other cars immediately start going into evasive maneuvers, and some of them are circling around to make essentially potentially suicide runs at you. All right, we are now back at the Psychosec facility. So the enemy, I think you're going on a 4, Morrigan?
Yes, but could you check your DMs, please?
Yes. Yes, he, yeah, absolutely. He
Hell
is
yeah.
arms manufacturer. So here's what I just DM'd you back.
Awesome.
Would be in both arms.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, but I am on 4.
That's right. Yeah. So Peirce, I guess you get to go, you get to go again. Since so basically Madison Trask pulls a gun out. She looks at you with so much disdain on her face that you know, like you're just nothing to her. But as she's about to squeeze the trigger, you can see all 4 synths turn their guns towards her. What do you do?
They turn their guns towards Trask?
Towards Trask. What do you do? She has a smug look on her face. She doesn't realize what's happening.
I just kind of point.
You kind of point. And as you turn, they will. As you point, she turns, and all of the synths will open fire on her. Her sleeve is riddled with gunfire. In fact, these synths, because they're kind of standing in a foursome around her, the reality is when they shoot at her, they shoot through her, they blast each other to pieces. It's just this crazy square of intense fire back and forth. And by the end of it, the synths are been blown apart. Trask has been, her body has been, her sleeve has been reduced to basically pieces. Yeah, you're left standing there looking at the smoldering ruins with that strange kind of look on your face. And that's when the floor that they're standing on suddenly, Terminator style, coalesces up underneath Trask. And I'll get rid of Trask and the synths. As her head rises from the ground.
Ew, what?
Yeah, her head goes lopsided and it rises from the ground. And this combination of human machine appears before you, and Morrigan, you realize it's the Lox, and he looks he even though you're in Roman's sleeve, he has an ability to detect you because of the connection, and he'll say, "Soon, Sonata, humanity, we will be of one mind. Soon, we will make music together."
One of these days, you're gonna learn to shut the fuck up.
And his action was to kill Trask. So you can act.
Morgan's gonna, like, in the sleeve that's not hers, she's gonna put forth both of her arms, or
Yep.
I guess Romanov's arms, and they're gonna like peel back to show 2 railguns as he's fully modified, and she's just gonna fucking unload on this AI, like as she just like Terminator style like charges for it, just like railgun.
By the way, chat, this is the twist for me. The message that Morrigan said. They got a wish a few sessions ago, thanks to a donation and a pink backpack item, and I had forgotten that Morrigan had used it. So her wish was that Volkov's sleeve was kitted out, and it is. So nice.
It's not his fuck sleeve, it's his war sleeve. Let's go.
So go ahead. You're gonna. You know what? Just use fire. I think they might be directed energy weapons, but who cares? I mean, your stats
Okay,
probably.
firearms or whatever. Okay, so.
And don't forget that you are advantaged.
Yes. Oh, hell yeah, that's a 1 under 6 with the advantage. The other was 7.
Okay, so railguns. They are.
I know, I was trying to find that.
Yeah, so we'll call it, we're going to call it a frag rifle, basically the equivalent of a frag rifle. So you're going to roll 3d6. You're going to add your perception bonus. And then you rolled a 1 under what, 7?
A 1 under 6.
Oh, under 6. And you're going to multiply that by 6.
Okay. So we've got 16. So I've got 10 on the dice, 6 on my perception. So 16 times 6.
Got my calculator here going. So 16.
Hell yeah.
92.
16. So the railguns just, they just basically blow, they blow right through the chassis, actually. Probably one of them goes through Trask's head. Underneath, you can see kind of the mechanical nanites reforming.
Yeah.
The railgun drills through the chassis, but the nanites start to reform almost immediately.
Morgan will call out to Saren and Brittany, like, we need to keep this motherfucker locked down, as she reloads the arms or whatever the hell. And that's my turn.
So a big error message is now appearing on the Volkov chamber as a DHF is trying to download, but there is no sleeve. So nice ingenuity there. Okay, over to Kai, who hasn't gone yet, and Aekira. Aekira goes. So you're gonna kick.
So how close do these cars get when they're like blowing out stacks?
I'll say some of them are I'll say they're buzzing, like, you know, they want it to be dramatic. They wanted people to see what happened. So I'll say they're buzzing the rooftop with kind of the part of the railgun. You know, it just fired and just took off Volkov's head. Are you asking whether you can jump out onto them?
No. I mean, I wouldn't ask. I would just do it and let the consequences happen. My question here is, I can tell Saren's car apart from the others.
That's correct. Yeah, it would probably be the furthest away.
Can I grab the strap of this guitar case and like hammer throw it out into the open air and like try to detonate it and catch like a bunch of cars to kind of...
Yeah, I would let you try that. Yep. Yep, they're buzzing. Some of them are buzzing right over, so you could basically throw it up. It's almost like flak, right? You're basically going to cause shrapnel, which will hopefully shred cars within the vicinity. So this would be, let's see, I would say, yeah, I guess throw is a skill. So I guess this is going to be a throw.
Okay. What's my skill and throw?
David.
Oh, it's perception, so it's a 5/5.
I have a couple cars like chasing me around, right?
They're turning. They're actually turning and coming directly for you.
Is there a way that seeing this happen, can I kind of dive a little bit, get closer to the roof, so that to help him a little bit?
Next round you can. You're a bit too far away right now to do anything, but Kai. So here's what I'm going to do. The number of successes will determine how many cars you can catch.
So 1 degree because I got a 5 under 50.
5 on 50. So basically one of the cars comes sweeping around. So there were 6 in total. The one with the railgun, 5 escorts. Peirce blew one of the escorts up, and now another escort. As it buzzes the reception, all of a sudden this case goes into the air. It explodes, causing shrapnel to basically go through the side of the car, killing the driver, and it just spirals. It just spirals out of control, clipping perhaps a piece of the building, and then just falling to the city below. And it is now round number 2. By the way, you see out of the corner of your eye, Aekira, gun in hand, is heading straight for Trask Darius. Round number 2. I always get. I should have bought myself some advantages or rolls or reductions, but I forgot. So I have to go with my dice, and speed dice are never friendly to me. Believe it or not, the next good one I got is a 3.
2.
1. How did you?
2.
2. Kai. 1. I'm going last. I hate going last. All right. So his action was to fire the railgun. So Fade, you got a 1. You're using a 1, right? Yeah. So his action was to fire the railgun last round. But you've got the drop on him this round. What are you going to do?
So my intention is to basically disrupt his ability to aim, steer, drive, anything, and since like just slicing away at his neck is not enough to deter him, I am literally just going to climb on top of him in the car, like straddling him, facing him.
Clear, so the seatbelt is off?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Seatbelt is off. I am climbing on top of him, and I am just like stabbing upwards into him as much as I can, and like straddling on him so that he is unable to really steer or aim past me.
You're basically going to give him disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Make your attack.
Okay.
I think it only makes sense that you're advantaged here because he's aware of you now, so only 1 advantage.
Okay. Okay, I got a 4 under 40.
Okay.
So
So that's going 4 on 40. Yeah. So
Yep.
that's basically roll your die 8 and add your strength bonus to
7.
it, which I think.
So 7 plus 4.
Okay, 11.
Thank you.
That's all right. Math.
Wasn't that the same I got last time?
It was, yeah, except you had a multiplier last time. This time you did. You start stabbing into them. One of the things that you realize is he's hardened the surface of his skin, so your knife, as you stab it, it's just not going deep enough.
I hate him.
Who else had a 1? Morrigan, I believe.
No, I had a 2.
2. Oh, Kai, you have a 1. You can see
And Saren.
there. Okay, so we'll start with Kai. Gunshot rings out. Trask takes a bullet to the shoulder, but you'll see Trask is armed as well. Submachine gun is coming up, as you'll see it's Trask's face, but Darius's eyes. What are you gonna do now?
I'm gonna hold both empty hands out in front of me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna activate the magnet plating in my 2 hammers to bring the 2 guns out of my holsters up to my hands, and I'm gonna shoot twice at Trask, right after just cussing to myself, "God damn it, Aekira!" and try to blow him off the edge of the.
Oh, okay. Oh, because you have the hammers or something.
Right, the pushing power of the hammer.
All right, go ahead. Make your roll.
Let's see. Firearms now are D4s.
Oh, nice.
Now we know we can't miss. It's a fucking 4 under 5 and a 3 under 5. You said I roll with disadvantage if I want to use my offhand to shoot.
No, how was I doing? No, I was increasing the difficulty. So
Gotcha.
difficult by 2 if you wanted to get 2 attacks.
All right, so the first one missed and the second one hits. It's a 5.
Yep. So roll your damage,
550.
and the number of successes is the multiplier.
Yep. That is a 9 plus 5 is 14.
Right.
And then he's got to make a toughness check.
Here we go. Toughness check. You mean Madison Trask has to make a toughness check. All right. Here we go. But it is slightly modified. And Trask takes a hit and slips over the edge. Careens backwards over the edge. Nice shot. Aekira, suddenly she's firing into dead air. But there are screams, and you do notice Praetorians. Not only Praetorians are starting to react, but they're a bit slow. But Darius's team, the ones that you put a bullet in, they are here. Their eyes are now all on you. But Peirce is up, or both Peirces are up. So Peirce in the vehicle. Suddenly, the car with the railgun starts to fly erratic. As you figure something's happening, you can probably hear inside the struggle that's going on.
Yeah. Okay. Here's what I want to do. I want to. So I've got these.
By the way, 2 cars are going to try and ram you on their.
And there's 3 escorts left, right?
That's correct.
Can I try to kind of do like a cool spin and using the like photon cannon or plasma cannons that I have, try to get both of those cars in the same strafing run as they come towards me?
I'll tell you that now, where I thought you were going was doing a cool, since they're both trying to ram you, which was to do a cool spin and have them.
And have them hit each other.
Have them ram each other.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Let's do that. Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay. So that's going to be again. So I'm going to increase the difficulty of that, just because you want to coordinate it to get 2. This is a digital networking roll, but whatever your normal acuity target is, I'm increasing it by 2. However, everything you do with this machine is advantaged because it is amazing.
Okay. Okay.
Suddenly, you spiral down. These vehicles are coming in.
Yes. I rolled a 2. My normal is 50, so 2 under 30.
2 under 30. Nice. And so as you suddenly spiral out of the way, these two cars hit each other. There's an explosion as both of them go careening. One of them will impact with Summit, with the Summit house, the structure. I mean, but it's huge. I mean, it's just like a mosquito flying into a windshield type thing. So it hits as a secondary explosion. The other one just spirals off and disappears into the lights below.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. On the other side, I'm going to have Saren and Brittany trying to lock this place down so that no more DHFs can come here.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, so the DHF backups are here. What you're trying to do is prevent the signal from going, DHF, that person's dead. Time to download.
Closed circuit this place, right?
Okay. This is going to be a digital networking role. This is going to be a competitive role against the Locks because he does not want this to happen. So
okay.
Going to roll and see who gets the highest. Because Brittany is helping you, you do get advantage. I
don't need it. I got a 1.
My God. You know, I'm rolling a D4. The Locks is amazing. And the only thing that I figured I would have you hands down, of course, I rolled a 4. And I just threw away my die. I don't know where it is. Anyway, it betrayed me, so I don't care. All right, you get to dictate what happens. So the Locks moves to essentially try and stop you. But what happens?
Even more so than just locking the entire place down, as the Locks moves towards Brittany and Saren, who are at like a control panel on the other side of the room.
He's moving. He's making a move virtually, not physically.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I think this still works. Like even if he just kind of like reaches a hand out or something like that. I think there's just this kind of virtual dome that's put around this entire place, like a bubble. Yeah. And we kind of see that throughout the code, but as we kind of fade back into reality, the Locks maybe moves towards Saren and hits kind of a wall of force as he's now trapped with Morrigan in physicality.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. So Morrigan, you beat me, right? I believe.
Yeah, I got a 2.
So the Locks lets out a cry of frustration. Do you think your little firewall is going to stop me? I don't need a signal to download the DHFs. He goes, and sooner or later, I'll break free.
I'm gonna break you first. And she's going to just charge and start trying to, like, in this being, like, she's just full melee combat, trying to keep this thing, like, pinned down. Like, I get that he's, like, computer or whatever, but, like, neutralize the, like, physical threat and keep it preoccupied, so to speak. As she's gonna, like, switch from the railguns to just absolute, like, that, like, physical melee.
One of the things that I'm going to point out to you, Peirce, for next round is that the Locks is regenerating. He's be able to reform himself because the nanite program, the nanite emitters and the nanite program is in effect. So just so you're aware, that might be, could be a future target that you would be aware of. All right, so you can make a melee roll if you like.
So here's the fun thing. I have a D6 under 7 on melee combat, so I automatically have a degree of success, which is very cool. And that is a 2 under 7.
Okay, here's what, here, I'll let you do one of two things. One, you could do damage, but he is,
Yes.
so much per round. Or 2, you can just use your successes. So basically, they subtract from his. So whatever he tries to do this round.
Yes.
So how
Yes.
many did you have in total?
So that's 5 degrees of success.
Degrees of success.
207. Let's go.
Save me is a 1, essentially. He is pretty formidable. It's possible. Well, he might be able to.
Oh yeah, for sure. But Morgan's, the idea is that she's just trying to buy Saren time, keeping this thing pinned down.
His action is to he has a railgun as well. His action is to level the railgun at Peirce on it. So he will. He just suddenly levels it in your direction. But Morrigan is in there, kind of boosting his arm. He's going to fire. Here we go. You want me to do this in roll 20?
Get that one, GM. Get that one.
Right, you trust me? All right, not quite a 1. I got 4 degrees of success. So the railgun goes off and just misses your head, Peirce. Goes through a wall or something like that. As Morrigan effectively keeps him busy, that he can't bring the weapon to bear. All right, did I get? Oh, by the way, so back at Summit House. So nothing directly happens to you this round, Kai, but everybody draws weapons. So basically, weapons appear. The Praetorians are moving in, but more importantly, Darius's crew, Darius's squad, weapons come out from underneath the craft table. They appear from, they were ready. So we're now going to have.
Do we know how many people are currently aiming weapons at me, just so I know how fucked I am?
So he had 3 of his squad, 3 of the team. I don't remember their names right off the top of my head. I can bring them up if you want. But he had 3 of the team, so they're aiming weapons at you. And I'm going to say, roll. Give me a die 4.
Okay. Three.
And there are 3 Praetorians that have you in their sights.
Okay.
Next, speed dice, please. So the best I got, as I mentioned, I had nothing else lower than a 3, so I'm using another 3, a 3, a 2, a 2, and what do you have, Kai?
2.
A 2. Okay. Just give me like 5 seconds. My dog is behind me and he's driving me crazy. He's just growling.
You're good.
He wants to be picked up in his chair.
Oh, it's the cutest thing.
It's not so bad. I thought there was like 12 people aiming guns at me, and there's only 6. So
that's
only
like 50%. 50%.
better. Yeah.
Better.
I might be able to swallow.
Hearing him going. All right. Sorry, I lost track. So whoever has the lowest, go please. I guess that was.
I have a 2.
Faye.
Yeah.
So Faye, you might as well, I guess, continue with you. Oh, sorry. His round. I forgot to do his action last round. That was me just slipping out. I am just going to do it before the initiative. He is disadvantaged, which means I roll 2 and he's going to take the highest. Actually, I should roll 2 of these. All right. So a 3, that would be a success, but an 8. Damn it. Okay, so now you can act. The railgun, so the railgun he's trying to fire the railgun. That's what he was trying to do. All right. Oh, you're muted.
Okay, so at this point, I am stabbing this guy. I am like straddling this guy, trying to get this car. I'm like basically wrestling this guy.
Can you give me a composure roll, please, since you seem frustrated?
Oh no.
It's not like you, Fade. You seem a little off stabbing.
You know what? I deliberately left my composure and discipline as high dice because gotta go with the character. Okay, I got a 9 over 3.
No. Oh no.
Oh.
All right. Where
She's
is
not a composed girl.
where is the centillion?
It's like on my back.
It's still on your back.
Always.
So you know,
Hold on. What's the 500? Hold on.
the rage it just overtakes you, and if you recall, the centillion takes on your emotions, and you can feel the rage building in it, and you feel the elder artifact vibrating, and you
It's a
hear
reroll, Luca.
you hear in your head, what do you want?
Again, I feel like she's pretty clued in on this idea. She's going to take out the elder weapon and hold it sideways because it's like that big long blade, and she is going to push it into this guy's forehead. And she's just gonna say, I want a family, and she's gonna push this thing, just try and like basically saw off the top of his head.
Okay, all right. Give me a melee roll. I'm going to give you triple advantage.
Okay, and also Purple just donated to give me a reroll. So let's see, I've got a 40 in strength and
If
a
that
D6.
you want, but or you can take a quadruple advantage and look for that one.
Oh, I got a 1 my first time.
All right. So here's, I'm going to put this on you. Please describe what happens, except you failed your composure roll. So whatever happens, you need to put a multiplier on it. How you articulate that is up to you. But you've essentially lost control. So what, Fade losing control in this moment, what does that mean?
So I feel like I'm just pushing this thing through the top of his head, just screaming. I'm sure.
If you want to leave it with me, that's up to you. But I'll just give you that opportunity.
I'm sure I am not paying attention to anything else that's going on, and I will leave it to you, GM, as I just slice this dude's head in half.
That you basically the power. You just basically push forward and blow through the back of the vehicle. Essentially, the entire vehicle around you becomes molecular pieces. Essentially, it just kind of, like in The Watchmen, how he was able to basically So for a moment, every single piece of the car is just separate, floating in the air, and then it just falls away.
So I'm just in the air.
That's right. And Peirce,
Okay.
you can see, and everybody can see this because Fade, you are glowing. You're like a star in the night sky.
I feel like I would hear, like, for just that second after all this rage, like suddenly I'm in the air and it's just like kind of that going by my ears. I'm just gonna kind of spread out my arms and just kind of.
Seeing this occur, the molecular gun explode and the car explode. Kai, you had a low roll too, right? No, sorry, Morrigan, you did.
I also had a 2. We all had 2s.
Oh, y'all too. So I'm going to do Kai, and then I'm going to come to you, Morrigan. So Kai, you can see the car explode. Fade, kind of like almost like a messiah figure, glowing, floating in the air, above everybody. Kind of gasps. And you'll note that the guns of the CTAC team, Darius's CTAC team, turn from you towards the meths, Plan B. Since the molecular railgun didn't do its thing, their contingency, they've got to kill them themselves. So they suddenly turn towards the meths, but they don't get to act yet. But the Praetorians are still training their guns at you, but it's up to you. What do you do? Aekira looks towards you. She's going to go on your move. She's going to follow your lead.
I notice that they are now all training their guns. Do they have guns?
They do.
Yeah. So they train their guns onto what, the other rich meths up
That's
here?
right. Yeah.
I'll look at the situation unfolding and look at the Praetorians and just kind of yell to myself, "Are you fucking kidding me?" and then I'll pop 2 more shots off to try to take out 2 more of the teammates.
Okay.
Let's do this. Come on, get out of the fucking hole, you stupid D4. There we go. A 1. Hell yeah. And 2. So the 1 becomes a 3 and the 2 becomes a 4.
Sounds like
I'm gonna spend I'm gonna spend 4 of my 6 remaining stack points to make those 1s again.
okay. And so you get to dictate what happens. You tell me what happens. Well, I mean, I'm assuming you're just blowing their stacks out.
No. So what I want to do is I would like to aim at 2 more of the teammates.
Yep. See,
I'm gonna-
Aekira's got the 3rd.
I'm gonna aim for the ankle that's nearest the ledge, so that when he falls, it like topples him over the edge, and there's like a glimpse of hope that he's gonna be able to like just hit the ground and not fall off the edge, but the force of it's gonna like drag him across what I imagine is a glass top roof.
Yeah.
And then the second one, I am going to I'm gonna call out his name and like have him like look to me as I like pop him square in the chest and have him also like fly off. I just want it raining men. Hallelujah.
So there's Griffin, Orpheus, and Coven.
All right, yeah. Oh, no, Coven was the one who goofed when we did this the first time, and it went through Coven's head and then connected with the other 6.
Yeah.
So I want to yell, "Oi, Coven!" And I want as soon as he looks at me, I'm going to say, "Catch!" And I'll shoot a bullet right in center mass and have him fly off the edge of the building.
And Aekira takes out the 3rd one, and and at that moment, the Praetorians pull the triggers on their weapons, and both I'm just narrating now, I apologize, both you and her are cut down.
I would like to pull a speed die to try to like dodge this and maybe just dive off the building myself.
You can jump. Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
You're just going to have to make an athletics roll.
Yeah,
please.
sure. Okay, I love that. Athletics.
These are cards, but this is your chance.
All right, I rolled a 4 under 44.
So,
Woo, baby.
as the gunfire opens up, it takes out a few random people because you're running. He tries to track you, but as you're running, he cuts down a few random people as you leap free of the building. And is your goal to try and land on one of these flying cars?
I'm just gonna kind of like free fall for like a second before I hit my Oni.
All right.
If anybody's not too busy, I could use a pickup.
Here, now, like, okay, I now have Fade up here, glowing like a star, and now I have Kai plummeting, but he has a mile to fall. He'll be in the air for a while.
It's 152 floors. I'm gonna be in the air. If anybody's not too busy, I need a pickup. I'm gonna be on the north side of the building.
Here's what's going to happen. As you leap over, we're going to go to Morrigan. As you leap over, you kind of turn around. You can't help it. You're like free falling. You see Fade. You see the cars, and you see Trask was hanging on the side of the building, and she lets go, coming after you, straight down, Gandalf Balrog style, with a pistol appearing in her hand. And she's just shooting as they're in free fall as you're going down. And now it's over to Morrigan. Sorry.
So Morgan's engaged with this like Mr. Locks thing, and I just have a question because I just want to check my understanding really quick. Locks is like where DHF data, he's like a black hole of DHF data. Is that kind of the way that he was described earlier?
He sucks in, instead of sharing a network, he absorbs it. Like when
Gotcha.
music, like when you sing your music, when people are listening to it, they
Yeah.
connect, and it's a shared experience. He just takes the energy
Yeah.
for himself.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
think you're going to give him what you want? He wants merge with him?
No. Like I had a half-baked idea that it's just not gonna pan out the way that I want it to. So I'm gonna noodle on it some more.
Okay, let Peirce go first, and then as a speed dive,
Perfect.
you don't have to choose to go. You just
Perfect. Yeah, I'll hold and let Saren do what he's gonna do because Morgan's just really buying time.
Levels back towards you, Peirce, and you realize that every round the Lox is just rebuilding himself.
Right. So I'm gonna try to. So on the locked side, I'm gonna try to shut down his regenerative. You know what word I'm trying to
Yes,
say?
exactly. Competitive roll. Here we go. Your advantage because of Brittany. What'd you get?
1.
Oh, you guys in your ones.
Hey, rolling good tonight, man.
All right.
I rolled 2 1s, so it's
The
fake.
nanite, he has a regeneration program that directs nanites to repair his body. What do you want to happen?
I just want them to kind of. I imagine the nanites like continuously kind of swarming around Lox and fixing things.
Yep.
I want the nanites that are swarming around him to just fall limp to the
Okay.
floor.
To the ground. All right. And they do. Suddenly, Morrigan, you see that the nanites that are repairing Lox's body just, like dust. They just fall away.
Great. At this point, like that's when she would try to take that opportunity to like push this thing like back away from like Saren and Brittany and like the other sleeves, like any like console that it could try to slink over to like upload. She's trying to like manhandle force this thing away.
You can keep it. It's in the center of the room. Would you?
Perfect.
But you take an action if you want to do something like more.
I mean, yeah, I would like to shoot it some more, please.
It can no longer repair itself. It looks at you and it goes, I don't understand. We could unite all of humanity as one. Recreate it in your image. Did you roll a 1?
I wish I could show. I won in a 7. He has like she's like pushing back and it's trying to say like it could merge.
So before you go on, you're
Yeah.
probably going to do over 100 points of damage. That's
Yes.
what he has. So you
Yes.
can feel free to dictate the end.
Phenomenal.
So what happens?
Morgan is going to he's talking to her as she's just gonna exchange blows and like push him back like a couple, and she'll look at him and say, "You will never be a part of me or my story or my song again," as she raises the railgun and just blasts like right through its center mass.
And again, you're basically, as you blow pieces of it off, the nanites that hold that together just again scatter to dust. So you literally blow him to dust, and all that's left is Madison Trask's head that will fall to the ground and roll with the empty eyes looking at you. And the
Morgan will go over and pick it up by its hair and just look at its dead empty eyes and go, "Finally, fucking quiet." And she'll huck it against the wall.
Splat. Okay. Meanwhile, so Peirce in the car, Peirce number 1. What are you gonna do? Kai, actually, let's do another. Kai, we need to do a speed dive between you and Darius. So let's roll again. Let's roll one die again, just to see.
I've only got
Doesn't
one die
Saren-
left.
Doesn't Sarah need a car catch kind of deal?
I need to car catch 2 people right now.
Am I rolling one in addition to my normal, the
Yeah,
one
yeah,
die that I had left?
Yeah, we're just gonna start over. This is just a dramatic
okay.
thing. Saren, you might as well roll. Fade, you might as well roll in case you want to do something. But I have a 2. What'd you get? Dad, damn it! How can I get away from
Oh,
this?
are we starting? Can I use one of my originals, or can we? Or
I'm
do
saying
we
let's
need to
start over. Let's start over just for this. So just roll.
Just one die.
That's right. One die. Just one action. 4.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
All right, Kai, you're up. Trask / Darius is free falling above you, firing with the pistol. The bullets are streaming past.
Sure. Let's say I let go of both my hammers and they both kind of like hit her in the face, and that's why she hasn't hit me yet on an open field where I am falling in a straight line. And as I let go of my hammers, I will pull out from within the strap that's underneath my jacket. I will pull out the sword that I've been holding onto, and I'm going to just try to carve it into the building to try to slow my ascent.
Okay. Go ahead. Make a melee combat roll.
Melee combat. Oh, did we spend points on this one? Yeah, we did. Where are you? Melee combat. Oh, you're a D4. Jesus Christ. Did I lose my D4? Oh, there it is. Rip. Another one.
So you stop yourself. Unless you wanted something else to happen, you can dictate it.
I was gonna try to slow my ascent to get closer to her and then hit her with it if I could, but
You got a 1, so you can essentially stop yourself. So Trask is like falling past you, firing the gun. I'll just because it's dramatically appropriate. I'll let that one extend to your attack. So what do you do?
Sure. So, like, as I'm peeling glass down the side of this building, I would like to, like, slow the ascent till she's just close enough to where I think I can, throw it into her.
Yeah.
And I'll yank it out of the building and just boomerang it straight at her and watch, like, as the blade carves through her and continues to go up and then arcs and falls. And as she's kind of holding her gun, her body's still falling, but then slowly separates midair. And I will continue to fall downward the side of this building, sans blade.
All right. Peirce, what are you going to do? You have 2 people.
Listen, do I need to make a choice, or can I get both of them? Like, obviously, I think right now I'm doing a hard.
Here's what's happening. So Fade is glowing into the sky. You will note that Praetorians on the roof are starting to point guns at her. I don't know what's going on. I mean, this could be a threat. I mean, chaos is kind of ensued. All of the meths, if they're they're still, even though they're immortal, they still have feelings. So a lot of them have run for cover, except for one, Bancroft. He just walks to the edge and just looks straight up at you. Fade. Marvelous. What are you gonna do?
There's no more danger of the meths dying.
Yeah, the endless rave is probably broken.
So I'm going to kind of do a vertical jackknife with the car, leaning or I guess I don't have to lean over, but opening the passenger door, or I guess I'd be able to like dematerialize it if it's nano, you know.
Yeah.
So the passenger door dematerializes and I jackknife up, catching Fade. She falls through the door and like partially lands in my lap as I like floor it downward, and she like kicks back into the passenger seat.
Taxi!
Hold on.
Fifth element is going on right here.
No need to make rolls here. You can rocket down the side of the building.
Yeah.
eventually catching up to Kai, and you can
I catch up right at the last second.
okay.
Yeah.
And scoop him up and speed away.
The car catches me in its teeth.
It's
By
the
scruff.
scene from the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but you don't hit the floor.
Ugh.
And you speed away. Yeah, Kai, you get a message from Aekira. She's like, "I got captured, you shithead." She goes, "It's okay, I'm all right." She says,
Did you explain the situation?
"She's like, I'll do my best, but you better come visit me."
Listen, it's not dead.
I'm all right. Just tell me you got him.
Blame it all on me. I don't care. I'll have enough money to disappear if I need to. Blame
You
it
might-
all on
You
me.
might, but I do. She'll say. And you can speed away. I'm assuming you're gonna zip over to the psychosec facility.
Yeah.
The others, Morrigan, you're in the sleeve of Roman Volkov. You can see the locks. He's still trying to assemble himself. Like he forms stuff. It just crumples apart. But he essentially is coding. Brittany will see to it that his coding is essentially erased. Do you wish to transfer to your own body?
Yeah, Morrigan, I'm assuming the sleeve like had some sort of like attire, if it was like a get back to the summit quick kind of scheme.
Yeah.
She's just gonna like drop like the arms that will shift back to normal. Let out a big sigh and roll her neck, and she'll look over at Sarah and she's like, I'm gonna go slip into something a little bit more, well, me. Are you good?
Yeah, doing fine. Mm-hmm. Listen,
What, you think?
I'm not as battle hardened as the other version. All right, it's
Think you picked the wrong gig? Is that what you're hinting at
No.
there, big guy?
nope. We won. It's all good.
Right. Well, listen, if you're gonna pee your pants, do it while I'm gone.
Well,
And
that's
she'll just like walk out of the room.
that's just rude.
She's back.
So your sleeve is printed, and Morrigan Sonata walks out. Peirce, you and Brittany will appear, and you receive word that the others are basically landing. You can land. This has docking areas for the vehicles. I don't know if you want to stick around or you just want to get the hell out of here. But Peirce, as a parting gift, did you want to unleash a virus that basically wipes this mainframe?
Yes.
You want to keep it
Yeah, I want to make sure the corruption of. Well, first, I want to download the files for evidence.
Okay.
Not the corrupted files, but I just want evidence of what happened here.
So you realize the DHF of all these meths have already been compromised.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to destroy all that.
Destroy them. Okay.
But any logs or requests from Trask or anything that needs to be any communications, I want to make sure I have that to turn into the Protectorate.
So Peirce number 1, Kai and Fade can land. Just as Peirce number 2 is finishing up getting all this information, and then you and Brittany delete the rest. As you approach the vehicle, of course, it's probably the first time the two Peirces will come in eye contact with each other. And Brittany will say to you, Morrigan, she says, "We have this information. What do you want us to do with it?" I believe it should be your choice.
You got record of me in there? An Aquaria?
Yes.
Delete that bit. Keep as much of it that'll bury Trask in this piece of shit facility.
Very well. Do you want us to release it to the Protectorate?
No. I want you to release it to the people.
She looks to you, Saren. She goes, "As you wish. It will be done." And you can see Kai, Fade, everyone is back together. Thought I'd get at least one of you, but oh well. And you can board the craft and get the hell out of there. Saren, you've heard Morrigan's wishes. She wants to release this information to the world. And is that exactly, Brittany will say, is that what we do?
Yeah.
All right. As you hit the send button, and this information is suddenly appearing on every news net on Earth and in the off-world colony, your car fades into the night. But that is not quite the end. I will give. So you arrive back at Peirce's safe house, but there are a few things that need to be wrapped up. But before I do any of my stuff, when you return, like it's over. You walk into Peirce's safe house. Brittany will get some noodles or something going. And does anyone want to say anything, do anything, just in this immediate moment? If you want to do something beyond this moment, I'll give you that opportunity as well. But just in this immediate aftermath.
I learned to fly today.
Neat.
All over the news nets, there's like Messiah appears over World City, millions witness a miracle. An angel appears, right? Yeah.
Second coming? Question
I have
mark?
Did Fade look like Fade when she was doing that?
So what she looked like how she wanted to look like. However, I should have said this. The light. Oh, actually, I just thought of it. The light around her would have been great outstretched wings. Would have looked like an Fade. You would have known to yourself an elder race, right? The spirit of an elder race, which is exactly what. In case you haven't put two and two together, that's exactly what you have in your carnival fish bag. So the centillion, it was Fade, and then the centillion showing its true self to the world, which is interpreted as kind of like the second coming. So what would you have looked like, Fade?
Just glowing, like almost a bright light, winged creature, just glowing and free falling in the sky.
Very cool. All right. So, anything in the immediate aftermath?
I think Kai's gonna like limp into the building. Oh God. You know, Saren, I think when you caught me on the hood of the car, that the hood ornament may have found its way in somewhere uncomfortable. I'm gonna go get an ice pack
Oh, yeah.
and go sit down. Nice job up there. You kind of look like Sailor Moon. It was pretty cool.
Peirce and Peirce are going to open up a bottle of whiskey and sit down, and then just kind of talk to themselves, going back and forth, kind of telling each other what happened, and eventually we'll come to the conclusion that Saren won, the one that was in in the race will be the one that lives.
That's in your father's body.
Yep.
Just leaves. Okay.
It's time to move forward.
The question is, just because you delete the DHF of number 2 doesn't mean you have to destroy the sleeve. So the question is, when the 2 Sarens sit down and walk into a room and have the whiskey, when the 1 Saren walks out, which sleeve is he wearing?
I think there's a moment where Saren 1 kind of peeks his head out and looks around the room, and his eyes land on Fade. Fade, come here for a second.
Yeah, what?
Which one of us looks better? Like, be realistic. Which one of us is more threat?
I don't know. I'd have to see you naked.
You hear the clanking of glasses, and like, I can give you notes on one of them, Fade.
Just kind of embarrassed, just slowly close the door. I think it's still Saren's father's body.
Okay, that walks out.
Yep.
Okay. Good decision, because it's your decision. All right, anyone else want to do anything before I move on to a couple other events?
Morrigan would kind of go over and find herself a stiff drink of something, and then would unceremoniously like slump down onto a couch, like that arm spread kind of way, with the drink on the back of the couch, and head back and just kind of take a deep breath and let it all out. And then like in the back of her head, she'll like recall that she has someone that she needs to go visit. But in this moment, she's just going to like sit.
Okay. And some time passes. Not a lot of time, but some time. You probably all rest, but an undisclosed amount of time. Peirce, we might as well do you first. You do happen to be alone. For whatever reason, at this moment, you're alone in your workshop when the door opens. I don't know whether you've given everybody free access to your workshop, but but it's not any of your friends or your crew. It's your father. Let's see here. Go over here. He steps in. I guess he wouldn't be looking like this. He looks like whatever sleeve you gave him. But he steps into the room and takes a look at you. And he's like, I found Reileen. Or more accurately, she found me. She said you'd come to an understanding.
Yeah. Apparently she just doesn't want it being used. So, we're gonna keep it safe and out of hands that want to use it.
You don't understand. I'm here to release you of that burden. You can go back to your life. You can forget all this. You'll see Brittany will appear. She appears. She's like standing behind you, and he sees her, and he'll say, "I swear to you, Brittany, I will never let you go, no matter what." And she looks towards you, Saren. You're free. He turns back. Oh, and the words of Reileen ring true. So the answer that he just gave is the answer to her question, but it's the wrong one. He loves her too much to let her go, which means should the need arise, he won't destroy the weapon.
Here's the thing. She's never been a burden. So, no. I don't think you will be taken out.
This isn't your fight, son. It's mine.
Well, it's become my fight. And frankly, you don't get to choose what I do with my life.
He looks towards Brittany, and she'll say, I love you, Daddy, but this is what I want as well. He'll take a step back, and he'll say, here's my contact information, son, in case you need me. I hope that one day you'll use it because you want to. Good luck. I love you both. And he'll turn and walk away. Brittany will step forward towards your side and kind of put her arm on your shoulder. Any final thoughts of that encounter, Peirce?
I imagine him being more old school, Peirce's father, that he handed him a piece of paper or like a business card type thing.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, Peirce is just gonna look at it.
Okay.
And then
yeah, probably just says, I'm proud of you, son.
Yeah.
You've become a better you are a better envoy than I ever was. We'll say.
Yeah. Peirce will look at it for a second, then walk into his shop a little further, then just toss it into a fire.
Okay. And and you can start tinkering on something. Fade, this is a big question because your twin does tell your mother, and the message that you get is that she wants to meet with you. Do you go? And you don't feel like you have to at all. This is completely what would Fade do.
I wouldn't. I'm not saying I wouldn't ever, but right now I wouldn't. But I'd absolutely reach out to my sister, asking when she wants to go for ice cream.
You can go for waffles and ice cream with your sister, and I will come back to you as that, because you're bypassing them with your mother. So we have another one in store, but it's going to be at the end. Morrigan, you're on Neo Atlantis. You're in the Atrium. Athena is there. Aquaria is there. You've just finished telling them what happened, but they kind of knew anyway. But you just kind of shared that experience, and Aquaria looks at you, and you can see there's the Atrium has gathered, even though this is kind of a intimate moment between you and Athena and Aquaria. When you arrived, you noticed that there was a gathering of thousands of people in and around the area. And she will say, you have set yourself free. I'm happy for that. But you know that they will never stop coming for me. They are afraid of what I am, what I stand for. If it's not Psychosect, it will be the Protectorate itself. I could force them to understand. I could pull their DHF from their stacks and make them see. I could bend all of humanity to my will and bring peace for the first time in humanity's existence. I could evolve everyone.
You would be no better than what we just ended if you did that.
You're right, which is why I'm leaving. It makes sense to me now. I see that the next step in my evolution does not require a sleeve. So I will leave it behind and travel out to the distant stars in search of the answer to the question, who are we? Why are we here? Maybe I'll find God. Maybe I'll just keep traveling.
Seems like an awful long way to go for an answer that is already here.
No.
We are who we make ourselves to be.
If I stay, my hand will be forced. You understand? Humanity's not ready for this.
No.
You
No,
know,
they're not.
you could come with.
I'm not looking for answers. I found mine.
She nods. She goes, when I leave, the only way for you to be safe is that I have to take back what I have been given, what I gave. But I will leave you with the most important part of yourself, that which you created on your own, by living, by making the music. It doesn't need to possess magical powers to change things for good.
Morgan's gonna side-eye Athena
Yeah.
and just raise a brow like,
Tina will say, I'm going with her. We all are. And you realize that the thousands that have gathered are here for one purpose. Will you bear witness to our departure?
I would be honored.
And as she takes your hand, she leads you out into the atrium, whereas like before, instead of everybody dancing around, everybody is just standing as Aquaria reaches the center of the atrium. You sense the centillion move in that giant thing above, and and you feel in your spirit or in your stack that the centillion is leaving too, that it's going with them. And as Aquaria takes center stage, people start to move. You can actually hear, you don't know where it's coming from. You think it's just coming from people's minds. You can actually hear Sonata's music, playing perhaps for the last time in this form, linking every single person in the atrium to each other. And as Aquaria rises, she raises her arm, she rises into the sky. All of the stacks pull from the bodies as they all collapse. But something amazing happens. Each one of them travels through you, going to her. For just nanoseconds, but all of these lives essentially are yours for a brief instant, as thousands and thousands pass through you and join as one brilliant light above that glows more intently than anything you've ever seen before it shoots off and is gone. And Morrigan is Morrigan. The power that was given to you has gone with it. and you kind of collapse to the ground. And but you, of course, you realize there's no more traveling across the stars with a thought. You are on Neo Atlantis, and Aquaria is gone.
I imagine like after a while, like Morrigan will eventually, she'll just kind of sit in this place that now feels like sacred, and like in a ruin. She'll sit there for a moment with her like arms crossed over her knees and just like, again, just sit and look at like the oddities of this place, the cables, the wires, the greenery, absorbing like the last little snippets of everything.
And then before you know it, you're surrounded. Flashlights, armored soldiers, railguns, 30, 40 of them, all pointed at you. And they'll be like, don't move. And back to Kai. So Kai, you are actually receive an invitation to the Diamond Nexus.
Diamond Nexus
Remember this Cassiopeia was the person who gave you the first job with the pleasure sleeve. She's the one who brought the group together. She's the NPC that was supposed to be in every single adventure, and I just never got back to it. So you receive an invitation. She wants to see you. Maybe she has another job. That's not what she says, but she's like, I need to see you, and it's important.
I'll accept the invite and go.
And she sends the invite. Sorry, I should say she sends the invite over the Black Ops network.
Can I reply to her over this network?
Absolutely, yeah.
I'll send something back asking how she got access to this channel.
The reply you get is that I am the network.
Huh.
Please,
Good to know.
don't keep me waiting.
I'll accept the invite.
Yep.
But before I head over there, I'll send a message to Saren.
Yep.
And I'll say, don't ask why, but I need you to hold on to something for me. Feel free to use some of it if you need. And I'll dump half of the account into his Oni.
Okay, all right. Saren, you just became a multi-millionaire. No, 5 million credits, untraceable credits have just appeared in your account.
And then on my way there, I'll send a message to Morrigan.
Who you have not heard from.
Who I haven't heard from yet, yeah. I'll be like, when you get back, when you return, what do you think about going off-world for a while? And I'll Oni her the other half of the account.
All right. And 5 million credits.
And then I'll go see Cassiopeia.
And you arrive at the Diamond Nexus. The account does not replenish this time, not like the past. But remember, so the Diamond Nexus does not exist in reality. It is a virtual place. So you basically have to put your little headset on and go to this virtual bar. When you walk in, Aekira is the first person who you see. She walks over, hands you a virtual beer, which still tastes like a real beer. And she's like, what do you know? They let me go.
It's good to see you in one piece. Knew you'd make it out. You're self-reliant.
She goes, I think we have an appointment.
Any idea why we're here?
She goes, answers, I hope. Maybe a job.
It's probably wishful thinking, but let's see what she has to say.
So as you walk in, you can see Cassiopeia will stand up. She smiles, comes over, and she'll say, Kairos, it is a pleasure to meet you again as myself, not the facade, not the role that I play in this little game. She goes, you can still call me Cassiopeia. And yes, I'm an AI. I actually specialize in temporal probability theory. I knew you'd be important. I just didn't know how. So I left you with access to Black Ops Network when you retired, hoping that it would pan out. And my prediction was correct. I'm a part of the Sentinel Network. We are AIs that exist outside of the politics of the Protectorate and are tasked with its preservation. The Protectorate owes you a debt beyond the account. I could put in a good word, undo what's done. You could return to the fold if you want to rejoin CTAC. Both of you, I can make that happen. I hear there's a major's position that's recently opened up.
You know, as tempting as that offer is, I think I'm fucking done with CTAC and the Praetorians. It'll be too soon if I never see one again.
Good answer. I'm afraid I'll have to take back your access to the network.
Fair enough.
Thank you for your service, soldier.
Any chance,
She goes, we picked up a little something on Neo Atlantis. Right through that door there. I think our business is concluded.
okay, I'll head
Here.
through the door.
Can I buy you a drink? And you can see Morrigan waiting. CTAC did round you up, but Cassiopeia set you free. And as you open the door, you can see it's Morrigan.
This is in VR, right?
Yeah, you can
Like
appear however you want to appear. Yeah,
Can I do a thing, please?
absolutely. Yeah.
So, as you walk in, it'll be like a small venue, and there will be a stage with a single bar stool and a single spotlight, and Morrigan will be sitting there, as you're walking in, she's gonna walk on the stage and like see you and just throw out a like little wink as she sits up on the bar stool and adjusts the mic, and it kind of feedbacks a little bit as she puts it into place and gets her guitar all ready, and she goes, thanks for coming to my show. My name is Morrigan. And believe it or not, I have a date. And she'll strum like a nice G chord. And I've been looking forward to it for some time. Just was held up by some Praetorian dipshits as she kind of like plays out a quick little riff. But I'm finding out, and this is the kicker, believe it or not, kind of into it, so long as they kind of give up that life and, I don't know, go somewhere nice. And she'll start playing just a happy little tune as she makes eye contact with Kai across this room and says, "This one's for a dumbass." And she'll keep playing a song.
Kyle walk up to like one of the front stage tables and just pull out a seat and like just lean on the table and just like watch her play for a while.
And we fade out to the diner. And you're sitting at a table with Amanda. You've ordered waffles and ice cream. And she looks at looks at, when she sits down, there's silence for a while, and she's like, I was never supposed to exist, but I'm glad. This is technically illegal. We're double sleeved, but I leveraged a few connections, so it's going to be all right.
I won't tell if you don't.
She goes, and you asked me a question. No, she was not a good mother. You never had a mother. She gave you up for her career, and she forced me into mine. But you will have me. And she'll and as JP comes over, he sets the waffles down, and he's like, Miss Fade, it is with such bittersweetness that I place this plate of waffles before you, my most favorite customer, for I regret to say that this will be the last that I serve. He goes, I'm sorry. I lost the diner in a poker match with other AIs. I'm afraid it's going to be replaced with a hotel. You have been my best customer that an AI diner could ever have. Please allow me to introduce you to the new proprietor. And a gentleman will appear and step forward. He gives you a bow. He's wearing an old-fashioned clothing, and he does a good evening, Miss Fade. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Poe, and fear not, my hotel will offer waffles and ice cream as well, except that it comes with a penthouse.
Does your hotel allow fish tanks?
He goes, it does now. And for me, that's fade to black.
Yeah. So with the centillion being gone, though, Fade is gonna get an actual fish. She's gonna get like a little goldfish or something and set it up in a tank.
Over that, and I know chat really loved the centillion. The part of it that is the elder race is gone, but the centillion is there. It's alive.
Oh, sweet. Okay, because I was gonna get a goldfish, but if it's still there, then yes.
Our elder artifacts anymore, so you now have a pet, and that is where we will end. Whew. Listen, thank you so much to the cast. You made this an amazing journey for me as a GM. And I hope you all realize just how much your characters wrote the story. It was easy for me. I just had to throw in the thing here and there. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you in chat enjoyed it. If anyone has any outstanding questions, you can feel free to ask amongst the cast. But otherwise, I guess we will go to our goodbyes.
This is the dankest.
I don't want to. I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
I don't.
I can go first.
Okay.
Hi everyone, I am Tyrant. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Dr. Tyrant, and I tonight played Saren Peirce for the last time. Bittersweet. What an awesome campaign this was. So many goofs, so many heartfelt moments. Just incredible. Huge round of applause to all of my fellow cast members, and an insane round of applause to Fazul here for making the story. He says that it's all from us, but don't let him trick you. Don't let him trick you. He crafted a beautiful masterpiece for us to play in. So kudos. As for what I have coming up, not much. I will be in Dark Echoes every other Saturday morning, and here on TPK, and then I will be in Against the Tides every month. Date unknown yet, but I think we're working a more secure schedule out for Against the Tides. So keep an eye out for that over on Nat 20. But that is all I am in now. Perhaps in the future, some more one-shots or whatnot if I get the time, but a little bit slower for me nowadays. But let's kick it on over to Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah Franco, and I played Morrigan, also known as Sonata. In my headcanon, Sonata never plays another show, never releases another song, album, anything. But if you check the right dive bars on the right beaches, you can catch a solo songwriter on a crappy old Taylor named Morrigan playing songs to whoever will listen. If you like my face and the words I say sometimes, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at OSarahXFranco. I'm in a variety of TTRPG content, both here on TBK Roleplay and over at Nat 20. So, check out all of the shows there. Keep an eye on my Twitter for where you can see me. The one thing I'll plug is the series season finale of The Bard's Refrain on August 28th. IGM, that's the campaign IGM. We are also wrapping up, and I think it'll be something really special. So come check it out. Kicking it over to Luca.
Hi, I'm Luke Locke, and I played Fade, the criminal. And this was a fantastic series, beautifully told by all involved. Thank you, everyone. I did not expect to have Fade find any sort of peace, and even though she's found a sort of like chaotic peace, I'm still really happy that happened for her. If you want to find me doing more stuff, I'm running Harper's tomorrow, and then I am we're starting City of Mist next Monday. And I will be doing Dark Echoes, the Bard's Refrain finale, and then Stargate next month, and just a whole bunch of other stuff coming up, some one-shots, some really exciting stuff. Fast and the Furious is back. So just keep an eye on the schedule, come join the Discord and hang out with us, and thank you so much, Fazul, for running such a wonderful, wonderful show. Up to you, Bright.
Oh boy. I am Bright. You can find me everywhere at Bright Dystopia. I want to thank Luca and Ty and Sarah and Fazul for telling such heart-wrenching, serious stories while I made dick jokes for 9 episodes. Dave, you've got a penchant for making my dumbass characters feel things, and it's not fair. But I hope we get to play again in another game soon that goes for all of you. As for what I'm in next, I think I'm playing in a game with some of you again. We'll be playing a Fast 5 game, or not Fast 5, sorry, Fast and Angry for copyright purposes in the near future. If the internet is a void you find yourself screaming into, you can find me on my handles on Twitter and Twitch at Bright Dystopia, or you can look me up at Magpie Games, where I DM Avatar and Urban Shadows games. Just go to magpiegames.com/bright, and you can sign up for one of my games, and I can DM a game for you. That is all I have. David, please wrap this up before I start crying.
So I'm Fazul. I don't have a lot to say other than you guys are, I am your biggest fans, talking to the cast. So that's a little tip, a thank you for each of you.
What the heck?
And I hope, I was talking about a reunion. I hope at some point we can bring this same cast together and do something fun and special. So thank you again. Thank you, chat. Again, I've said this before. I don't know if you realize how much you've influenced the story with the pink backpack purchases. They've really been, I'm going to try and pull all of this stuff together and put it up there on Patreon. So if you want to see maybe what I intended, what happened, it will be there for you to look at. But I can honestly say, if I had gone back to me on day one, first session, and had told my past self how this ended, I don't think I couldn't have came up with anything better. So thank you, cast. That's it for me. I don't have anything until September. So if you need a player, let me know. But in September I will be running a one-shot based on Jurassic Park. So that will be fun. So that's it for me. Please stay safe and all the best. Bye.
Night, everyone.
Bye, everybody.